What's up, guys? Andy here checking in. Hope everyone is having a great Friday. Um, always going, I mean, always going online early today, just to be sure that, I'm answering some questions. Give us a little bit of time before market open. Market opens 9:30. We did have massive CPI news that came out at 8:30, which has pushed us down, as you guys have seen from last Friday and the Friday before. We're finally pushing down out of that daily zone that I talked about. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. This candle here was our daily candle from the 27th. So if we go back and look at the 27th, that's been two Fridays ago, actually. We were able to catch this move, obviously, on the way up, and then we capped out. And after that, last Friday, and even, today, obviously, we kept saying that we're rejecting this daily area. And until we get on top of this daily area, we're not going to push up here. So we should not be looking for buy entries. If anything, you were looking for additional entries that you could get off these sells coming down. So we played this out knowing that basically above this gray box is your stop loss. And then everything below here is entries that we were taking. If we go back and look at the first one, and this is the biggest reason I wanted to get on here with you guys, is to walk through all of this so y'all could see what was taking place. So here was our move on the 6-3 markup that I was giving you guys of we need to break this trend line. If we hit this trend line at the bottom, we're going to bounce up. If we don't, we could see the move happen beforehand. And we did. We bounced back up. We didn't get on top of our trend line up here, obviously. And our swing high. Stop loss was up here. This was that daily stop loss. And we just made, bam, bam, these swing highs at the top. Lower swing highs is good for us. Finally broke trend here and just slammed down. If we look at the markup that we had, we zoom out here, these were the buy areas. Okay, so if you guys remember some of the first zooms we did on Friday, we had these buy areas out of these trend lines coming up. These were our TPs and break zones. So this first one was our TP at 32,341. And then our break zone for an additional entry was the 32,423. Now, remember, as you are trading, your break zones and TPs will sooner or later become another break zone and or a TP for a sell. And if we scroll over and look, that's what we have here. As you can see, the same break zone that we had right over here. Let me scroll over right here. Look at this. It came up, tested, rejected, came down, rejection, rejection, rejection. It finally broke. And what did it do when it broke? It took off. That's a massive move, guys. That's 1,133 pips that we got off that move, okay? Now we're going to look at what happened when it broke over here. So this was the break we had right there. Look, it broke, rejected, 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 rejected. What happened? Slammed down. Literally the same thing it did for the buys, it did for the sells when it got into this zone. How hard did we push? Well, let's look at that and see. From the breakdown, we've got 628 pips. So not as big as the upside, but that's still a solid move. All right. So let's look at our other charts we had here. Here's all of our break zones coming down. These were our entry zones for our rejections. Here's our other chart. This is that beautiful arrow that we drew, okay? Saying that if we do not get on top of these areas up here, we're going to slam down. You can see where we put our stop loss for those trades. Look at this one here on the 30. And again, actually this one here might have been, yep, that's my bear chart. So that's good. So I need to move that chart here to the end. That's what we're going to be using today. Here's the daily chart. This daily chart we have not touched since we've been marking up. The only thing I added was that 32,703 line. And I'll tell you why. That was our drip. That was our drop for yesterday. Okay. So yesterday, that's the drop that I'd given to the private Discord. I said, if we break 32,704 on a 15-minute candle, we're going to slam down. And guess what? It's exactly what happened to a T. So I was super, super stoked about that trade. All right. We look at this mark up here on the 30. This is the one that I showed you guys earlier. Obviously, the breakout, we came back down to this zone. Never was able to get above it. So we fell below it. And then here is the markup for the bounce. This is probably the most important markup that we've had, and let me explain why. This gray box area here was that wick fill that we did on last Friday's Zoom, where we were talking about where could we fall out to for TPs. Remember, I told you guys these swing lows become TPs as you're breaking down. So when we couldn't break up here, remember the wick fills we did for entering these trades? What did I tell everybody? I even posted this on social media. Okay, so I posted on Facebook, Instagram, you name it, all over the place. The reason this was important, I said, study this move. This move right here will make you more money than any move that you can catch in your life, right? Right. If you listen to me on this move, you know what you were able to do? You were able to replicate it right here because, again, look, swing high, draw your wick fill. All right, now you know anything above this box is your stop loss for additional entries here. Okay, so sell, sell, sell. However you want to put those sells up here closer to this line is what you want. Okay, guess what happens as we sell down and we have these positions now? Because remember, the way you're running these positions, when you get another swing high, if you're in these positions over here, this is not your stop loss. This is your stop loss for the new trade's ongoing, okay? So up here, we had sells through here with a stop loss above this at 33,340. When we got into those other additional sells here that we took profits out of, we had a stop loss right here. You can see that stop loss is still there, okay? This stop loss here represents the trades that we got in on the way down here. When this came back up and we got into more trades through here, this would represent the stop loss for these trades. We're not going to use a stop loss over here for these trades when we know this is our wick fill zone for this area. So what do we have then? Another wick fill right here off that dot that goes like this. So now you're entering sells right here with a stop loss here. This is where you can load up. Guys, this is how you make a ton of money, okay? Ton of money. As it starts falling, we knew these were our break zones and TPs. We had these marked out. We even had it drawn out here. We said if we break this 32,811 zone and all this area, this next gray box is our point of interest. If we break this massive box, I said we're going to do what? Someone in the chat help me, please. I don't want us to be quiet all day. What did I say? If we break this swing low gray box, what's going to happen? Someone? Anyone? Fall. There we go. Mr. Rowan here is the man. He was the first one to post it, so we're going to give it to him. So, Mr. Rowan, congrats. We're going to melt, okay? We're going to fall. We're going to sell. Man, I'm so glad you guys are picking up. See how easy this is? Like, if we know it's going to break that zone, it's going to fall. Now, what happens here is we start getting, as we're trying to look at the markets, and you had people that were, well, Andy, the markets are looking bearish. We're showing signs of, bullish. We're showing signs of being bullish. And, we've been going up to this 30-minute and this daily. We're retesting it. We're going to continue to fly, yada, yada, yada. We could. Absolutely. We live in the United States of America, trading the Dow Jones, like we could do anything. The market could open at 9:30 and this thing could fly 1,000 pips, all because of some news that comes out right when market opens of how they're going to fix our economy in the country. You never know what's going to happen. The only thing that we're able to do is to react, okay? We're able to react to the market. How do you react? You have trend lines and you have lines. These are called reaction zones, okay? Anytime you've got a trend line, you're going to react to this trend line and press sell. When you see it break here, what are you going to do? You're going to react to that trend line and press sell. I don't care, what news is taking place here. I don't care what's been published. I don't care what the numbers are for CPI, NFP. I don't care about any of that stuff. Do you know why? Because it doesn't matter. If I've got a trend line here and price is breaking this trend line and the news is good, we could still continue to break. I'm going to take advantage of this fall. Stop over analyzing the market to make it so complicated that you miss these moves. Because guys, this move right here, who here? Let's have some fun. This will be some fun. We're going to be interactive today, guys, since we got some time before the market. Plus, we got a few people on here early in the morning, so let's get it done. How many on here trades with a $10,000 or less account? Don't be afraid. I don't know you personally, probably. Throw it in the chat. $10,000 or less account. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a high five. Do something. Let's see some movement. I love it. I love it. All right. Less. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. Let's say you trade from 10,000 to 20,000. Give me a fire symbol. If you trade from 10,000 to 20,000, give me a fire symbol. Let's see some fire in here, guys. All right. I love it. I love it. So let me help you out here real quick. If you took your entry right here with a $10,000 account and you risk it 10% of it, is that smart? It's not smart to risk 10% of an account. That's $1,000, Andy. Man, I've been in trading a long time. I've seen people risk 50 to 70% of an account just to make a couple of grand. Okay. So let's be honest here. This first entry that you took up here, risking $1,000. That's it. $1,000 right here. Your runner is worth anywhere from $15,000 to $18,000. If you held that with a stop loss, knowing that we're going to fall, knowing that the markups are going to hit, that they're going to bang out, this is a $26,000 trade right here, risking $1,000. Now you have this trade over here where you didn't break the stop loss. You're going to risk maybe half. Remember, we're going to risk half of it. So now this trade up here is worth half of that. You're sitting at $13,000 right now on that one. So now this is $39,000 here, risking $500. As price comes back up into this zone, you see that wick fill. You can risk another $500. You've got about $500 here. You could risk losing $750 to $800 total, right? So let's go with another $500, which puts you at $13,000. This trade now down here is worth 49, almost 50K. And then this one comes up. You're going to risk another $500. This is now worth $63,000. Okay. So guys, from what you have seen here, when we look at this on the daily, and we like to zoom in here. Okay. From here, this candle to where we're at right there, which is 5 trading days. Okay. 5 trading days. Look at your risk. On those 5 trading days, you've had 500 and 500 and 500, right? That's 1,100. You've risked $2,500 with scalping profits and closing out in between. So now your risk is minimal. Okay. Your equity is minimal. You're setting on over $60,000 right here. 60, risking 2,500. All right. It gets even better than that. For you guys that are trading 50K accounts, 60K accounts, $100,000, $200,000 funded accounts, if you risk 1,000 here, 1,000 here, 1,000 here, and 1,000 here, you're setting over 6 figures on this trade. 6. Your lot size on this first entry would have been $18 and some change. You'd have been setting at $9 here, $9 here, and $9 here. That's 4 entry, guys. 4 entries on this trade. You'd be over 100K, risking $1,000 on each one of these. For the over leveraging people who like to go crazy, okay? If your first entry up here, because we entered right here, right below that drop when we kept rejecting, your stop loss was right there. That's 110 pips of a stop loss. So let's say you're a big dog player. You want to risk $5,000 for this trade because you're going all in. You've got a few funded accounts. You want to go crazy. That means you're able to enter this entry up here at $45 a pip. That one entry right here now is over 61K. That's where, oh, can I show you? Yeah, most definitely. So here's where I'm at. Just on what we've got running on these, because I didn't go crazy with it. We got $9 a 30, a $26,000 runner. We got this one that was negative a lot. We got our GU 120. As you guys remember last week, floating equity at the time was like 47, 50-ish K. when we were falling down. Now we've got a floating equity of 156, got the account at 1.8 mil. Could we hit 2 mil today? I don't know. We'll see. This is the fun stuff. History. We had a big loss right there. Ate us up. That was a fun one. That was me trading a pair of EJ because I was having some fun with it. Profit right now, 630K. I think we're doing something good here. But that's where we're at, okay? Guys, stop over-complicating these trades. Yes, this is a real account with Carbon Capital Pro. As you see up there, Carbon Pro FX. That's carboncapitalfx.com. If you don't know who they are, go check them out. It's one of my most favorite brokers. I like them because 1, I get fast payouts. 2, I've never had any issues with them. 3, I know my money's safe. 4, you can make big withdrawals. When you start dealing with some of these other brokers, you request a $250,000, $300,000 withdrawal. Sometimes they space that out over a week, a couple of weeks, or they only allow you to take a specific chunk at a time. So right now, what we're doing is we make big withdrawals. They do it typically same day. So pretty easy. Go back here and is that loss at 100 per pip? It is. That loss was 100 per pip. I normally don't look at pairs on here, but we'll have some fun. We got some time before market open. That's my blank template. If you guys wonder what a blank template is, you have templates on here. So I have this here, which is my template. And then I have this nice template I like to call Gamble. So if you guys will see here, it's called Blank Gamble. When I click that, it takes everything away. And this is where I like to trade on price alone. So like right now, I know that EJ is 141.26, 26, whatever. And I will go back and say, okay, based on prior price history during my notes, where do I think we could fall? So sometimes I like doing this. It's really fun to have fun with it. But I was looking at this weekly here, and what we have on this weekly on EJ, when we look back, this was during the big fall in 2008 that we had. Okay, this is the 2008 market crash that we had. During this fall, EJ was at an all-time high. Okay, for me, it was like, we have these other pivotal points of 2014 and 2000, the end of 2014 where we were at its all-time high. So looking at that on the weekly, I was like, man, it's going to be really hard for it to get back on top of this and reach 2008 levels and then slam down. So I went ahead and took a sell. I took a sell a little too early. I took a sell at that swing high right there. It ate me up and hit my stop loss. So I waited until we got a little higher, and then I took another one there. So not too shabby. But back to US30, because I really want to talk about this, is you guys don't want to overcomplicate the trading aspect of like when you're reacting, okay? Don't let things get in your head. Don't let the news and the fundamentals get in your head of we're going to buy up, we're going to buy up. Don't let other people influence what you're, even myself. If you mark up your chart and you've got your reaction zones, take the trade, push a button, have the risk, and be done with it. Like stop getting in your mindset of, man, if I take this trade, I could really lose it and I don't want to lose a trade. Guys, this is the closest stop loss you're going to get. It's like right now, we're on the 30-minute. If we click sell anywhere down here, do you know where our stop loss is? Our stop loss is right there. That's 1,353 pips away. Do you know why? Because it can run all the way back up here. We've got a midway consolidation zone right here. Even from the top of that consolidation zone to current price is almost 600 pips away. If you guys are scared of a 100 pip stop loss, how the heck are you going to take a trade down here when you've got a 1,300 pip stop loss? This is why I said, guys, study this move. Make sure you're doing these wick fills and watching these rejections and catching the fall, because that's where you make your money. That is how you get rich in trading, is those moves. You don't get rich in trading catching a little bitty scalp here and there. You don't get rich in trading, catching this little bitty move in here in consolidation or playing the zones. You'll see people that will draw a line here and draw a line here. So, okay, I'm going to play sells and buys in this zone. I want to scalp here and there. That's not how you make big money. Big money in the crypto market is made when you've got 30-minute, 1 hour, which I don't trade the 1 hour, but a lot of people do, 30-minute, 1 hour rejections. And then even more importantly, this bad boy right here, daily rejections. When you've got a daily rejection, there's not much more you need than what you've got. So, with that being said, questions, throw them in here. We've got 3 minutes before market open. See what you guys got. Load it up. Let's have some fun. So while you guys are getting your questions in here, I'm going to jump to the 1 minute. You know what? What was that? Dun, dun, dun. So there's a dot to dot right there. Where's this dot to dot lead me? Ooh. And then we have another. Use the next dot there. Huh. All right. So now we look at the 30 minute. We know where we could possibly bounce. Right there's our bounce if we hit. Right there. Right there. That's the bounce area. Okay. All right. So when we look at this on the 1 minute, dear Jesus, that's horrible. And we all right. So real quick, Andy, what are we looking for? Well, it looks like we have a lot of education today, which is what we've done is educate. Because right now, there is absolutely nothing you're taking through here for buys. There's nothing we have for buys in this area on the 1 minute. If we zoom out, there's no structure that we can even get on a sell point on the bottom. Okay. So what's that mean for us? Well, we're going to put this on the 5 minute. We're just going to see how the market reacts to this. We don't have anything. I mean, if we go back even to the 4 hour, we've got an area right there. So I'm going to say, if we're going to be crazy today, all right, you know we like to be crazy. We're at the bottom, so we don't want to use anything crazy. Crazy for us today means we need to break out of this area right here for rejection and be below it. So really right there is your high risk entry. That's a sell stop. That is a sell stop at 31,689. This is a very, very dangerous sell stop. I'm okay with this because you know why? I've got a ton of equity up here. If you've got a ton of equity and you can float a loss of anywhere from $750 to $1,000, this is your trade. That's at $1 per pip for you guys. At $10 per pip, you're going to be risking a lot of money because this thing could still go all the way back up here, which means at $10 per pip, you're risking about $10,000 to $12,000. Unfortunately, that's where we're at because that's all we have to go off of. There's nothing else that we can get off the sell at the bottom. But the plus side is you guys should have already been in these trades because we talked about them last Friday. And if you follow me on Instagram, they were free trades. And if you're part of the private Discord, you've been getting these trades all week. So let's see here. Let's go through here and check the questions. Man, y'all loaded it up. I love it. And the market's about to open too. Oh, market is open now. I'm new to the system. I need a coach. You know where to find me. Is it too late to get in the trade or should we wait for a retracement? I would wait for a retracement and get some structure built if I'm being honest. What's the move this morning? We sold. Do you jump in on retracements ever? Yes, retracements on the bottom act the same as rejection zones with wick fills, but we're still bearish in the market, so I'm not looking for anything retracement wise because that would be a quick scalp, and I'm swinging this trade. If you go back and watch my other trading nut videos I've done, we've been looking for just the bearish moves the entire time. Any chances of stacking more positions? I do have a sell stop down there. We'll see how that plays out. What lot size should I use for a $10 to $20 account trade in US30? Rule of thumb is 1% of your max loss of your account. So if you got a $10,000 account and you're playing with a 1% loss, that's $100. At $100, you're running $1 per pip. If you're trading a 10% loss, that's $1,000. So then you can run $10 a pip because stop losses are always going to be more than 100 pips. So please keep that in mind. Your targets are always more than 100 pips. Your targets are always more than 100 pips in US30 for the most part, especially when we're playing the long game on the 30-minute timeline. He's too freaky about it. Yikes. I love it. I love it. Is there still a place in your 2-day online Zoom class? Yes, there is. I've had a lot of people ask me that. I closed it down because we were starting to reach a pretty fair amount of people in there. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do because I've had a lot of people ask. If you guys are listening to this live Zoom, and you want to be part of my 2-day online class, www.thepipconnect.com, or you can find it in my actual profile. All right, so I'm going to show you this question here, and I'm going to post the website, thepipconnect.com. Bam. That's where you're going to find the 2-day online class. I will open it up as soon as this Zoom is over. With Zoom, golly, mom, I say all the time, Cam is going to kill me. As soon as this live is over, I'm going to go to my website and I'm going to open up the 2-day class. Okay. I'm going to put the 2-day class out there for you guys to go get it. If you don't get it on the website, I will also post it on my Instagram. So if you're not following me, my Instagram handle is Real Andy Peters. Okay. So find me on Instagram at Real Andy Peters, and I will post it on my story. All right. Great question. Great question. Is your TP to fill the gap? Yes, the TP is to fill the gap. I like the space. I think it's a nice one. We're going to run with it. The London session sales were a beauty. Yes, they were. They're going to trap the late sellers. They most definitely could all day, but luckily we shouldn't have too many late sellers in here because we've been on fire for the last every single live that we've done, and on Instagram and on the private Discord. So we're solid. You guys be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Be sure to share this with your friends. Let's get some people on here. How can we learn to trade like you? Man, come on here on Friday. Come on here on Friday. Let's have fun on Trading Nuts live sessions here. You can join me on my private Discord, which you can find at the website I posted below. And that's where I do all of my trading. What's up, Andy? We spoke on the phone last Friday. Thanks for the words of encouragement. There is my dude right there, Mr. Torres. This guy right here. Show some much love. Man, I greatly, greatly appreciate you. I've got some things in the works for you, so I should have all that over to you here shortly. Why is there no structure to buys? Thanks, Andy. There's no structure to buys. I mean, you've got a dot here on the 30-minute, so you could do a trend line just like this right there. We're going to cut out this area here that's flat. So you could say that if a 30-minute candle gets back on top, we could push back up. Again, I'm entering this sell. We just got put in. I'm not worried about this. Why? Because I have positive equity in this account. We have a floating equity right now of $168,000. So even if this comes back up and puts me in a negative at 5 to 10K, not worried about it. I'll close the trade out. If we take your 3-day in-person class, do we get in your private Discord? You know what? Here's how I do it. The private Discord right now, the value of it is pretty wild, and we went pretty crazy with everything that we did with it. I said I wasn't going to do that anymore in classes, but because we were doing a city tour, I will tell you this. If you come to the Nashville event, I'll be giving you some hookups. There'll be some giveaways for some free Discord. There'll be some giveaways for some free mentorships. Every single person that shows up at the Nashville show will be getting something. So I can tell you that. Let's go, Andy. Straight murdering it. It was a killer week. Thank you. This is my dude, Ron Graham. You guys go show him some love. He's part of the private Discord. Always giving me shouts out on Instagram and just straight murdered it with me this year. What's your fee to coach? So at the moment, all of my mentorships are completely filled up. I only do 12 people at a time. I keep it very, very low key when it comes to my personal mentorships and coaching. And it ranges. The last one that we did was right at, I think, like $700-800. We've been going on. We'll have it's a total of 4 weeks, but I got behind in traveling in the FX Summit, so I've extended it for them. So it could go on for them for 8 to 10 weeks. But the prices range depending on what the person's trying to achieve too. If someone's wanting to talk every single day, then obviously we got to talk about that. If they're wanting to get on 1 or 2 times a week, we talk about that. I don't just have a blanket. You see some people say, oh yeah, for me to be your mentor, it's $25,000 flat. It's like, what do you get out of that? We just talk a couple of times a week and you can text me. Everything has to be structured for that particular individual because everyone's going to learn differently. How do I get to be part of the Discord? Click the link, www.thepipconnect.com, and click private Discord. What do you do if there's no wick fill? Then I don't have a zone to trade out of. Can you explain what a wick fill is? Yes, a wick fill is basically taking where there's a swing high or a swing low and just filling the wick to the candle body, and that gives you a zone. So example, we can take this wick right here and fill that in like that. And basically, if we break on top of this trend line, we have this area right here where we kind of consolidate. If we break out of this consolidation, we'd go back up and we'd tap that box before we fell back down. Let's read here. We got why my MT4 says 1,000 pip stop loss for 100 points. Because points are measured out. It's like, for example, if you're measuring out from this swing high low, that right there is 1,421 pips. People will call that 14,000 points. If that was, they'll call it 14,000 pips. If that was 14,000 pips and you were trading a 0.1, that means that trade would be worth $14,000. It's not. If you're trading that, like for example, you see this trade right here. If I take this trade, that's $10 per pip, and we go down here like this, you see where it gives us $10,000 for a TP in that area. All right. So let's go ahead and let go of that. Now we're going to measure that out at $10 per pip. When we go in here and look at that, how many is that? That's 1,000 pips. Do you know what 1,000 times 10 is? $10,000. That's how you measure it. Too many people don't know how to measure pips when they're talking about money. And that right there is 1,048 pips, not 10,000 pips. Again, if that was 10,000 pips at $1 per pip, that'd be a lot of money, guys, a lot. Okay. So it's $10 per pip. When you trade US30, that 0.1 is $10 per pip. Okay. If that was 0.01 at $1 per pip and you took this trade, that means that trade would be worth 10K. It's not, it'd be worth $1,000. So that's why it says that. So yeah, Brad, it's a big misconception that people see within the market. And that's why I say a lot of people that you see post that up, they're like, oh, just call it a 15,000 pip trade on US30. No, you did not. Because if you did, and you were trading $10 per pip, you just made 150K. What time did the Zoom start? Typically around 9:20, 9:25. It's a pretty chilled environment. And we trade typically on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If I'm traveling or something's going on that week, I typically won't trade, and I'll just give my markups. So I trade live whenever I'm trading. Have you moved stops on your sells to lock in equity? I have not. I'm not worried about this. I have enough floating equity that I've got my stop loss up here that I'm going to run with, because there's still a chance that we could play in this area up here. He honestly just makes the charts that simple and it works. I've caught over 500 pips on the 30 this week. Ryan, you have crushed it this week, bro. You have crushed it. Tips on building confidence, on holding winners and not rush to take profits. Stop thinking about the quick money. Think about the overall picture of what you're trying to do. Protect the entry, close partials. And when I say protect the entry, it's taking this, like say you've got a stop loss right here. You take the stop loss, put it in front of your entry like this, and then take this one here, double click it. When it brings up your box that you see right here, you can go in and move. I got to do it this way. So let's say you go in here and you find a trade you're profitable in right there. You double click it. You go in here, you change that volume from a 10 to a 0.5, and you click close. So that says close that. And then when you close that, it's called taking a partial. By closing out partials and protecting your entry, you're going to find yourself not being as tied to that trade as much. You're not going to be sitting there going, man, what am I going to do? Like, that's a ton of money. No, because you've already put your money in the bank and you've already protected the trade. You can't lose that trade now. Andy, what's your advice on trading books? The best trading book you'll ever read is your own. So journal so you can go back and read your own trades. Go back and you can read your own emotions. Go back and see where your headspace was at when you were in those trades. Now, I mean, obviously there's some good books out there that people will recommend, like Trading in the Zone and stuff like that. I think they're decent. I've read a lot of trading books. It was great information, but it was nothing that really, made me say, wow, like this changed my life. That was just trend lines and zones that changed my life there. Mitchell, great, man. I'll see you in Nashville. Nashville is July 28th, 29th, and 30th. We got Mr. Eric here. What's up, brother? Just wanted to say, hey, I appreciate you and thank you for all you do for the community. Man, I appreciate you, bro. Without you guys who are part of my community, I would not be where I'm at today. In the midst of being able to teach people, to go on these, live sessions that, Cam has given me the privilege to do, I wouldn't have that opportunity, because when you guys support me, you're giving me motivation to do more. You're giving me motivation to get up and get on these charts, because I can trade from my bed. I can literally just look at my phone and say, that looks like a good setup. I'll take it. Or I can get my laptop out, take the trade. I don't have to get on the Zoom. I don't have to make sure that I'm up, that my kids are being quiet. Like, there's a lot that goes into this stuff. When I'm getting on a live Zoom during the week, or I'm getting on Cam's, trading up podcast that he has here in the live sessions, you guys notice the house is quiet. Keep in mind, I got 2 dogs and 3 kids in this house. So I have to tell my kids, hey guys, you guys stop playing. Okay, stop playing for a little bit, get the dogs to calm down, and I need y'all just to chill for about an hour. So I'm taking an hour of even my kids' time and telling them to chill out. Instead of having fun, running around, playing games, playing, with each other, they'll they'll play like horse games and play with toys and it gets loud. But guess what? Listen, you can't hear it. Why? Because I have to tell them, guys, chill out and calm down. So it's a lot for me to do that. So as long as I've got you guys supporting me, and as long as I got you guys supporting Cam and all the stuff that we're wanting to do, then I'll continue doing this. So I appreciate you guys. If you're not, read what Jeremy put here. So my dude, Mr. Jeremy, man, y'all are loaded up the questions today. I love it. Jeremy says, if you're not part of the Discord, I'd highly encourage you to join. Started my trading journey with Andy 11 months ago and it changed my life and vision forever. Jeremy did not even have an idea of what MetaTrader was. Keep that in mind. When he came to my in-person class, I went around the room and he goes, I have no idea what MetaTrader is. I've never used it, but I'm here because some friends told me that it could help me. And here he is. He's been with me 11 months. He's having fun in trading. That's what matters. So Jason, you have a great weekend as well. What are sponsored candles or buy to sell candles area? I'm not sure what sponsored candles are. I may be missing something. So fill me in on that. The Discord is 100% worth investment. Hey, Jeremy Atkinson, FTMO has a lot lower leverage. Is a 0.01 is 10 cents per pip. Yes, there are some brokers that allow you to trade at that level. Let's see here. US30 counts the decimals as pips. That's not what it is when they count $1 moves, 100 pips when it's really 1 pip. Automate your trading. Can we learn to trade like you from your Discord? Most definitely. You can also learn how to trade like me, but just by watching my YouTube videos. I've done a lot of videos on YouTube that are just out there for you guys to watch. Matthew, have a great day, bro. We'll see you next time. If your trading style is simple, then wouldn't everyone be rich? What prevents someone from succeeding in trading? Oh, man, it's their mindset. Trading is simple. Trading is the most simple thing you'll ever do in your life. I proved that with my son. Go watch my YouTube videos. My 7.5-year-old son single-handedly took a $4,800 account to over $100,000. We recorded every single session. He traded live. He gave his markups live. He would jump on at night time and actually tell people what was going on. He would jump on in the mornings and give us the move updates. We complicate it because we're adults and we get in our own head. Trading's simple. You've got this thing on a screen that goes up and down, and you've got to be on the right direction of it. So how in the world can that be complicated? Because people get attached to the money. I give out my trades. Keep this in mind. The same account that you see me trading right now with the profit I have, I've been trading. I've not taken a single trade on this account without taking it with my group, meaning sending them a screenshot, meaning telling them the levels. You want to see how crazy? Watch this. I even have a text message group with my team. Okay, when I say my team, these are the people that I trade with. Okay, these are the people that lead the Pip Connect. And you can look at my phone right there. See all those screenshots of trades and levels and everything they're entering there. I send out screenshots of all of our buy stops and sell stops, all the trades that we're currently taking. Everything is sent out to the team. And then that same team goes back and analyzes it, and we send it out to our people. You can see it right there. All the stuff, okay? I post on live Zooms. We jump on, I trade live. I take these same exact trades on my platform that other people would take on theirs. I analyze the same. I send out the templates. I make it so simple that I actually take the template that I'm using and I upload it in my Discord. So you can download that template and put it on your MT5. So your chart looks identical to mine. The same color, the same trend lines, the same zones, everything. And you can ask people, why didn't you take that trade? I didn't like it because I saw where so-and-so on Instagram said that we're going to buy up today. And he's got a lot of Lamborghinis. And did he buy up today? Yeah, he did. Did he lose? Yeah, he didn't win today because I lost with him. Okay? Stop looking at other people, even myself. Mark it up, keep it simple, and push the button. That's it. I've watched people be in winning trades and they lose the trades because they want to make more money. The greed sets in. I've seen people hold losing trades for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 worth of drawdown because they think it's going to turn around. It's like, why wouldn't you just click the button the opposite direction? Close the $20,000 bad trade that's in a sell and then click buy and take the profits the other direction. Trading is simple. The psychology is hard. That's what messes people up. Psychology and being in your own head, listening to people, not being in the right headspace, over leveraging, over trading, thinking you're missing the move, trying to catch the next move. That's what messes people up. Again, we've got candles on a screen that's two different colors. If they're going down and we push sell, we're making money. If they're going up and we push buy, we're making money. Where does the confusion come in? When you're over leveraging and it's going up and you're scared to death. When you're over leveraging and over trading and you got multiple positions because you thought it was going to do something and it didn't, and now your bias is off and your account's almost blown, you're scared. That's what makes it so hard. Can you do the 20 pip challenge sometime? Most definitely. Good morning, Andy. Loving the content. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you being here and thank you for being part of my community. When do you say enough is enough? When will you retire? Have you ever traded for charity? Thanks for everything. I have. I traded for charity with Trading Nut. I traded for a local charity here for St. Jude's. And then I traded for not really a charity, for a corporation, but a mom and dad whose daughter was going through cancer. And both of those, I posted the winnings and how much we gave away on Instagram. So yes, we have done that. Aside from trading just for charity and whatnot, we have also done a lot within our community. My wife and I, and this is public information because we shared it through our business pages. In 2019, we ended up giving away a little over $180K to local families and organizations here in our town. In 2020, the first year of COVID, we gave back a little over $160,000. And then in 2021 and 2022, we've given away over $250,000. So yes, we do those. And when I say enough is enough, I am retired. So I have, if you say retire from trading, it's too much fun. And I love trading with people to really ever quit. You'll hear people say, oh, I'm done with trading. I never want to trade a day again in my life. I'm just tired of looking at the charts, blah, blah, blah. They're not done with trading. They're bored. They're bored. They're not own lives with people. They're not educating people. They're not doing things that are helping other people grow if they're just done with it. Because with me, there's times where I don't want to look at a chart. Guess what? I don't look at the chart. But by being on these YouTubes, by being on the Facebook lives, the Twitter lives, the Twitch lives, my Zooms, it allows me to see other people grow and it allows me to see other people succeed in life. And as long as other people can learn from me and we can have fun together, guess what? I'm totally down for that. I want to see people win. I want to see people succeed. And as long as everyone's plugging away and supporting me, I won't retire from that. But as far as like the aspects of like work and grinding and all that, I gave that up months ago. I said no more grind when it comes to trying to chase the dollar. At this point now, I have fun trading. That's my way of chasing the dollar, so to speak, and then educating others. So very good question, though. I like that. Do you use any fundamental website sources, extra confluence of price action? I will look at Forex Factory and I will look at the news in the back section of Carbon Capital just to see if there's anything taking place. If I feel like that there's, like say there's a red folder with news coming up, I'll be very reluctant, to take a position during that time. I will already want to be in a position before that news comes out. You're appreciated, bro. It's my first time attending your class. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Love the Discord. Man, dude, you guys are loading me up with questions. Is it signals or just markups? I do have a signal group that's on Telegram. That's an automated like EA signal that works off of EAs. It's not that great, but for people who want signals, I throw it out there. Hard for someone to pay $300 a month. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if a person cannot afford $300 a month, you cannot afford to trade. I'm being just honest. At $300 a month, you should, if you're trading, and let's say I can't afford to lose $300 a month, then build more capital. Period. Like simple as that. Build more capital. LaRon, I want to give you a shout out here. You said private Discord, Andy is the real deal. Man, I greatly appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here on this live stream as well. My dude, Egg Roll over here. Discord is legit. I greatly appreciate you. Is $20 to 50K possible? Absolutely not. I'm going to post this question only for the simple fact I want people to read this and keep it up for a second to where I can explain this. You can flip accounts, okay? I've taken $1,000 accounts in upwards of 50 to 60,000 goofing off. Me and Tyler did a $2,500 account challenge one day, and I think he took his to like, it was high. I mean, his was like 50, 60K. I took mine right behind him, and then we both ended up blowing those accounts. Anytime you're trying to flip money and build that big, you're over leveraging, and there's no way around it. Now if you take 20K and you build 20K to $50, yes, and then $50 to $75, yes. $100 to $120, yes. It's going to take you years. So what's more important is not worrying about the 20 to 50K. It's more important to go out and just work. Take off from trading for 2 years and go out and grind and build capital. A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people forget that they're trying to make money on the charts by over leveraging and over trading because they need it versus just closing the computer and working themselves to death for 2 years to build capital. That's their capital that they can trade. Because if you're asking me, can you take 10K to 50K all day? Can you take 5K to 50K all day? But the 20K, the $20 to the 1K is hard enough. And then when you get to that 1K, now you're over leveraging like crap to get to the 5K to then get to the 50K. It would be such a long journey and such a headache that you would pull your hair out and just want to quit trading. And let's see here. What we got going on? Your website has an EA for sale. What are your thoughts on it? My website has the EA signals. And like I said, they're pretty much, they're not that great. They're not that great at all. There's so much more value in the private Discord. But guess what? I want to hit everyone. And people tell me, I want signals. I want signals. I don't want to look at markups. I don't want to learn to trade. I don't want to do this. I just want to take signals. Cool. Have at it. You're going to be pushing buttons and clicking buy and sell for a long time without really making any money. We got one here. You'll be extremely profitable if you follow what Andy does. What happens is the mindset in you. Yeah, and I want to talk about this. Not extremely profitable from just making money in general from trading. Extremely profitable in just life in general. It's going to teach you the fundamentals of life. How to be a better person, how to be a better dad, husband, business owner. I've got a lot of, I tell people all the time, I'm pretty old in my age. A lot of the people that are in this, industry are, 19, 20 years old, 22, 24, 26. I'm 40 years old. So for someone that's 22, I've got roughly 18 years on you of just life experiences, of things that have happened to me. I've got a daughter that's 12. I've got my son, my youngest daughter. So, I've got 12 years of parenting under my belt. I worked in corporate America for 15 years. In regulatory compliance and disclosure, I've got 15 years of corporate world under my belt. So like some of these traders, they've never experienced corporate life in their world. So when people are like, how should I juggle my 9 to 5 in corporate America and balance out my wife and my kids in a good career? And then they're like, this is easy. Quit your job or do this or go here. Make sure you're subscribed to this class over here because I'm going to teach you this. It's like, bro, you've never stepped a foot in corporate America. So how are you going to tell someone how to act in corporate America? How? That's like someone saying, I've got a 10-year-old daughter and she's beginning to ask me questions about, just boys and dating and, social media. And then you've got someone who has a 2-year-old and they're like, well, let me tell you what you should do. It's like, they can't, they've not been there. I'm 40. I've been through it all. I've lost everything. I've gained everything back. I've lost it. I've lost it again. I've gained. I've had kids. Me and my wife have had miscarriages. Me and my wife have been married for 16 years. We've been together for 18. So it's like, I've been through life. I know what it takes to get there. I know the hardships. I know what it's like to be with someone for 16 years. It's like asking someone for marriage advice when they've been together for 2 years and you've been with your wife for 12. You know more than the person giving you advice. So, like I said, I try to give everything to you guys, not just trading, life, business, entrepreneur, everything from the years of experience that I've had. What's the link for Discord? Go to thepipconnect.com and you'll see private Discord, or you can click the solo link in my Instagram profile. My Instagram is posted. If you look at the live stream, you're going to see real Andy Peters. That's my Instagram. How much to have your son teach me how to trade? I love it. Man, I kept it simple for him. I turned trading into a video game. He didn't know we were trading money. It was points. When you look at MT5, there's no dollar signs. He thinks these are points. So he's not worried when these points aren't going his direction because he doesn't know he's losing money. He doesn't know if he's making money. It's all points. I mean, yeah, that's where we're at right there. And I mean, history for motivation. I mean, bam, there's where we're at. Deposited this account 324. There's all the trades. Man, we got some reds in there. Looks ugly, don't it? All right. We have one here. No way your son did that flip. Go watch the YouTube videos and ask anyone that's part of my community. Some of the guys are actually in this live stream that got to witness it. I do not know any. Show this one here. He says, I do not know any other mentors on such high level of transparency and mad respect. Here's the thing that I've learned. I've learned this with age. When people do not give you full transparency of what they're doing, typically they're either wanting to hide something or they just don't want to share it with people. Okay. There's a lot of people who want to remain private in their life. And I actually respect that. With me, I like people to know the struggles I've been through. I like people to know that. I mean, when I'm sitting here talking on lives and I'm like, yes, me and my wife lost everything. We actually had to live with a friend. I made bad business decisions. I made bad investments. When I talk about, the businesses that I had that didn't work out and having to get rid of cars just to make ends meet, it's there. I want to do that because it shows people I'm a real human being. Guys, think about this. You can message him. His name's Giuseppe. I tag him all the time on social media. He's part of the private Discord. You can message him. I opened up my entire house to him, my family, everything for over a month, almost 2 months. I've got a kid who lived in a whole other city, 22 years old. He had only booked one Zoom with me, came to one retreat, started talking to me and my wife. And I said, you know what? People need to hear this. People need to hear from someone that has no bias of who I am and what we do. So I want you to come live with me. And he was like, bro, I was going to come hang out with you and try to find a place anyway. I said, no, come live with me. So he lived with me. He woke up in the same house. He ate with us, went out to party with us, went to birthday parties with us, watched movies with us, everything you could imagine for almost 2 months. Because I wanted him to have a true look into what the life is. To where if anyone ever said, man, that Andy Peters, I just don't know about him. No. Ask Giuseppe. Don't even ask me. I won't even coach the kid. Go ask him what his thoughts are, and he will tell you the truth. And that's what has to happen in this industry. There's too many this and that's. There's too many, well, this person said that. Well, this person, said that they're going to do this next week and then they didn't do it. Well, this person said that they're going to hold, a class in my town and they never held the class, or they're going to start, a big 6-week mentorship, and the mentorships, they started for a couple of weeks and they disappeared. Or this person said that they were going to, do a course here. And there's too much saying and less doing in the Forex, the cryptocurrency, and all these markets. And that's why I tell everyone that I'm friends with in this market. Me and Derek Vandy had a long talk about this. Me and Anthony Williams have had a long talk about this, where if we want the market to change as a whole, you know what we have to do? We have to be the ones to lead it. We have to be the ones to start changing it. So here we are. And here's Jeremy. Jeremy says, bro, I watched it live with him and his son. He did because his son isn't greedy like us. Yes, Jeremy was one of my traders that actually got to watch my son trade live, which is really cool. Is there a demo account? Yes, you can have demo accounts all day, anywhere to practice if you want to. Just go to Carbon Capital FX and open up a demo account and start trading away. Is US30 and other indices the only thing you trade? No, I trade a lot of pairs as well. I've just not been trading pairs here lately because I don't like how they're moving. Man, you guys have kept me talking this whole session with these questions. Let's see here. What's the link for Discord? Guys, the link for Discord, I'll post it here. Go to www.thepipconnect.com and click on private Discord, and you are ready to go. I have a dual screen. One screen is carbon demo, other screen is STMO. Thank you. Man, you guys are answering questions for me in here, so I greatly appreciate that. Is there an online mentorship course outside the Discord group? Is that the 3-day class? Yes, the 3-day in-person class is going to probably be my most favorite one because we've got 15 hours of education. We're doing 5-hour days. Normally, my in-person classes are like 2 to 2.5 hours, and you carve out lunch, you really get about 2 hours of teaching. I realized for this being my last kind of rodeo, if you will, because I'm actually going to start those questions up here. I'm actually going to start taking time off. So in 2023, I have zero plans of doing any in person. I do have the FX Summit 2023 I'll be going to, and I am a guest speaker at 2 other events. But as far as Andy Peters, myself hosting an event, right now, 2023 is completely off the radar for the wife and I, just because we want to travel and have some time with just the family and us and not worrying about being on the road and teaching. Because, I mean, I took time. I was obviously did a lot through cryptocurrency. I took 1.5 years, almost 2 years off, came back, got right into Forex and stocks, and I've been going through that. And we're going through June now of 2022, and we've been home a total of like, I think 4 weeks total for the whole year. And even during those 4 weeks, it's like we're still going like 1 day here or 2 days here. So it'll be nice just to relax. Pablo, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Man, there's a bunch of questions. Let me go back up here. Aren't you involved with Carbon Capital? I've seen you using the C logo and video, your guest calling you Andy from Carbon Capital. Yes. So I don't work with Carbon Capital. I work with a company called Algotech. We're a technologies company. So we don't just work with Carbon Capital. We work with about a dozen other brokers, as well as other technology providers. Carbon Capital is just one of the brokers that we work with. And I just like the broker. I like the colors of it. I like the logo. And I was like, man, this looks like it's really cool. And then when I started trading with them, I was like, man, I like the spreads. I like, the instruments I can trade. I like the back-end operations. I like the IB program. And I just got stuck with them. So yeah, a lot of people call me Andy from Carbon Capital for that reason, because I do vouch for them pretty good. If I like something, I push it hard. If you follow me on Instagram, you've noticed that. Like, there's a production guy that does weddings, and the dude's unreal. I just found him. Okay. I've just found this guy. We were talking on Instagram, and I was like, bro, I like your passion for life. I like your style. I like what you're offering out here. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm about to shill you. Dude, I went on Instagram. I posted up like 9 stories sharing his videos and all this stuff. He didn't pay me a dime for it. It wasn't some sort of advertisement or influencer thing, nothing. It was for the simple fact I saw a passion. I saw that he loved what he did. His art was amazing, so I gave him a shout out. And I do the same thing. If I'm passionate about something, I give shout outs. I drink the drinks. I go party. I eat at the same restaurants. Like, I'm just passionate about that stuff. You think people will pass prop firms from your template? Man, this is a good question. Actually, some of the people that have actually passed are in this chat right now. So you guys, see what's going on. Why is chat being censored? I'm not censoring the chat, so I have no idea what you're talking about unless YouTube's doing something. What pairs do you trade? I will look at all pairs. I'll look at every pair out there. So when the market is not just flying up through the roof, I'll look at every single pair. I have a question: how to be psychologically perfect while trading. There's no such thing really as being psychologically perfect while trading. It's more or less just pulling your mindset away from the markets and the money and saying, I'm here to trade these candles going up and down, and that's it. I'm not worried about the money. I'm not worried about how much money I can make. I want to perfect my craft. And obviously, no one's ever going to be perfect. You're going to still have losses. I mean, as you guys saw there when I showed my trading history, I've had losses. They're minimal because I like to protect my entries. But I have losses. Everyone's going to. Let's see here. Thanks for opening my eyes to psychology. Do you trade just New York sessions? Sean, good answer. I mean, good question there. So I do trade London session every once in a while if I just can't sleep or I'm up. Cody Pickering, who's part of our group, trades, sometimes in the evenings. Excuse me. And sometimes if we get bored, Rudy and Giuseppe and Jeremy and my team will jump on and trade during the day as well. Is Houston on your city list? Hey, I can't make Nashville. It's a fun town. Actually, I think we're looking, don't quote me on this, but we're looking at either Houston or Dallas, Texas to come that way. I think I'm just addicted to gambling. Hey, we're all there, but guess what? Keep the gambling to the casino because it's more fun that way. Chris from Miami, the Discord is fire. Brother, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Michael O'Mara, I'm going to share this real quick. He says, I can vouch for this. I learned just as much about myself and my life as I did about trading in Andy's 3-day class. The dude is the real deal, game changer for sure. Guys, here's the thing. I'm not trying to sell you a dream. I'm not trying to sell you a lifestyle. Again, that's why if you follow me on social media, yes, if you look at my pictures, I post on social media. I'm posting pictures of cars. I'm posting pictures of going out. I'm posting pictures of me and my wife. Like, I'm posting pictures because that's what I want social media to see. It's an attention grab. Where all my real content comes from is the stories. And when you watch my stories, I'm not trying to sell you. I've posted the Pip Connect one time in like the last 4 weeks. There's people who every single day are posting, join my company, join the signals, discount here, discount there, join here, click this. I don't care about that, guys. If you join, cool. If you don't, cool. I want to show people my life. I'm not trying to sell you this crazy dream. I don't live in a fancy house. I live in a normal neighborhood with normal people. I'm not walking around saying I'm the best at this or the go to this. I'm not. I'm a normal dude who just wants people to have fun. I want people to enjoy their life. I want them to have freedom. That's it. And during that time, I like to share my kids. I like to share, me and my wife going out, what we're doing, our dogs being stupid, all this stuff. Because there is more to life than showing people. If you trade for 2 years, you're going to have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. If you trade for 5 years, you're going to be a millionaire. No, you're not. There's people that will trade for 5 years who are still broke. There's people who've been trading for a year who have made money. Every single person is different. When someone says, if it was so easy, everyone would do it. If it was so easy, everyone would be rich. You're right. But it's just like saying, if you ask Kobe Bryant when he was alive, Kobe, is basketball easy? To him it is, but he practices every day. It's something he's known his whole life. For him to go to the basketball game or the court and play for a couple hours, that's easy for him because he has trained himself that way. It's just like, the guy that I shared here, Mr. O'Mara. He's a rock climber. Is rock climbing easy? I used to rock climb. When I was a teenager and in my 20s, it was easy for me. Why? Because I did it every single day. I was going places that was challenging myself to learn. It was easy for me. But I can promise you right now, at 40 years old, not being actively climbing, the last time I went climbing was like a year or two ago with our kids, it would be hard for me. So we have to remember, the more that we put ourselves into something, the harder we try, the more we're actively involved, the better we're going to be at something. Too many people think they're going to be good at trading in a year when they had to go to college 4 years to start managing a business. Like, look at all the PhDs and the MBAs and all this stuff out here that people have to learn how to get this job, but yet don't want to put 4 years or 6 years into trading. It takes the same amount of time to learn it. This is a craft. This is hard. It is hard because it's not the trading, it's the mind. It's the mind you have to get prepared for. So thank you for that comment, Mr. O'Mara. I appreciate it. We got Mr. Brian Roberts in the house. Thank you so much. Mr. Phantom Nexus. Real as can be, Andy. Thank you so much for being here, man. Would you say that joining the Discord would give me all I need to be profitable? Joining the Discord will give you the tools. Being profitable and learning the mindset and the psychology of it is all on you 100%. This right here, this comment here, I want to say that, a lot of people say, so like, hey, that's why you do stand out from the gurus and all this, man. It's never my intention to do that because guess what? The people that are in this industry, I have to show much love to. The Q Banks, the Anthony Williams, the Ron Gilpins, the Raouls, my business partners now, everyone in this industry has led me to where I'm at today. I would not be trading if it was not for Q Banks. I would not have the knowledge that I have now of the Forex markets if it wasn't for Anthony Williams sitting on a computer late at night with me. Or my buddy Brad and Jeff and all of them coaching me through templates and how to, draw up trend lines and zones. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for those people. So I have to give credit where credit is due and say all I'm trying to do is give what they gave me back and educate more people. So look at this question here. Andy, when trading with the swing high and low dots, how do you get your overall bias for only wanting to go long or short? Does it depend on what the dot appears? It's not really the dots on what appear. It's what shows here on this daily. What shows here on this daily zone is what makes it appear. When I see that daily zone look like that, that's what tells me, man, we're going to sell. Like we're going to sell. These daily rejections. And man, you want to talk about something that is just freaking beautiful. Let's look at this. We're floating now almost 200K. Oh, it's so close. So freaking close. Man, you know what we're going to do? Just for fun, because I've never had a TP hit this big. From our rejection to my TP down here is, I mean, you're talking 1,750 pips. I've never had that happen on a live. I just want to make sure that all these are down here in this TP zone. Because, man, that would be one for the books if that were to happen on a live Zoom. It may not happen today. It may not happen on the live. But, man, if it did, that'd be a beautiful day. So we're just going to move all these TPs down here. And this TP is already down here. We're just going to do that right there. That's just beautiful. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, dots, dots, dots. Yes, everything's about the dots. I love the dots. Where's the video? The video is on my YouTube channel. Just type in Andy Peters. Let's see here. Remember, smash the like button. I love it. Fit Plus was awesome. Sean, man, it was. And I miss seeing you and the crew, man. We had this here. This was one of the food businesses that we owned. Unfortunately, COVID just tanked us. The price of goods. Being able to not get the goods that we wanted and everything, it really tanked the business. But we had some great customers who supported us, had a lot of fun times, and man, I miss the heck of just conversating with everyone. And I think that's why I enjoy doing these Zooms and live trading and all this stuff so much, is because I get to talk to people. What's your prediction for BTC? Man, the last one that I gave was 24,640. Or 26,440. I'll have to look and see. I'll post it up on Instagram for you guys because I've posted it up several times. Oh, man. Let's see here. Holy cow. Y'all have got. Do you give entry and exit levels on your Discord? At times I do. I mean, it depends on the trade. If it's a swing trade that I'm swinging, I'll take it up to another wick zone. And then sometimes it's just catching, 150, 200 pips and saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and close out partials here. And when we close out partials, protect your entry. And that's it. Discord can be found at thepipconnect.com. When are you doing a world tour? Man, I don't know if I'll ever do something like that. That's just a little too much for me. I'm by no means a celebrity or a massive artist or anything, so it'd be hard for me to do that. I just wanted to do what I could before we pushed out, because, again, next year is, that's the year of it's time to chill. It's time to relax and do nothing. So we'll see where we go there, but it would be wild for sure. Any thoughts on economy itself, recession? I mean, people say that we're in a recession now. Depending on what parts of the country you go to, it'll be arguable. We don't see it here in Chattanooga yet, but things cannot keep going as it's going. You look at the cost of food, the cost of gas, groceries run off. I mean, heck, Sriracha right now is out of order. Like back ordered. In some states, there's no Sriracha, and it's very scarce on the shelf because there's a short of, the peppers. And it's like, when we get to that point, we will get to a point where we'll start seeing less and less of this type of food, less and less of this. And it's going to be hard for businesses to run. And I think that's when we would see a recession come our way. Look through these questions here. 4% from his templates in 5 days on my E8 funding account. Heck yes. I'm over 100 pips right now in US30. Yeah, so if you took our sell stop right now, you're sitting at 185 pips on US30. So I'm going to go and show you, so when I say protect the position, you would do this number here. You put your stop loss like this, and then you move it just like that. and that means you've protected that position. So if you get hit on that position, if you look at it's going to be worth $225, you can't lose this trade. You've protected capital and you've made $225 on this trade. That's not a bad gig, okay? You have a TP set for sales you're in. Yep, just did that. What's the cost for the 3-day class? It is $4.99. And then if you want to do the VIP ticket, it is $2.99. Basically, the VIP ticket gets you, lunches, breakfast, dinners. Anytime I go out, you go out with me, you name it, which is kind of a cost savings. I mean, it comes out to be like $100 a day. I promise you, if you go out to eat dinner with me, you're going to spend probably more than that on food and drinks and everything else in between. So we'll all just have like a hangout session. Let's see here. Let's go. Pip Connect, what's up? This guy right here, I like this Angelo, because Angelo knows, he says, this guy is just a market man. He didn't get rich from trading, but selling courses. That's funny. Because actually the selling of courses haven't made me much money. The last course that I did, I think netted $8,200 and some change. And let me show y'all what $8,200 looks like real quick. This bottle right here, this OFC bottle, that's what $14,000 looks like. So all my last, and I'll keep in mind, guys, I've only had 3 courses. That the 3 courses would have paid for half that bottle. I've got another bottle sitting on the shelf over there that was like $90K, so it couldn't even pay for that. So literally, my courses couldn't even take care of my whiskey. But that's a good comment, man, Angela. I wanted to at least give you a shout out for being an asshole on the live. You get a thumbs up, buddy. Thank you so much. Every trader loses. They do, man. Every trader loses at some point. You don't have a choice. Like, you don't. That's part of the market. He called out Q and Anthony too, and he said they're fake. Man, Anthony and Q are not fake. I personally know them, and they're some of the most real people I've ever met in my life. They showed me actually like the markets, what was possible, and it's pretty awesome. So they're not fake people whatsoever. Like I said, I can vouch for them. Let's see, dropping out of the sky. Yes, we want this thing to drop. Lambo Rudy says trading is the hardest way to make the easiest money. Amen to that. What else we got here? Dun, 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 dun. Scroll back up here. Man, there are a lot of questions on here. And I'm going to scroll through here and just start picking them because, man, you guys have been all over the place. Praddock, I don't know what Praddock is. You might have to give me a little more details on that. Mad Love Andy, is there a discount for returning Pip Connect members? Hit me up on Instagram. Mad Love Andy, I always appreciate how real the gems you drop. Thank you so much. Oh, yes, he was the guy that got booted. If you come to my community and you try to sell people something or trade their accounts or take money from them, then yeah, I'm booting you. And again, I'm not about that. Like, I've had people come to me and they're like, look, Andy, I have a service that I want to offer to people, whether it's tax services or whether it's yard work, lawn care. It's like, yeah, cool. You've asked for approval, go for it. But when people go behind my back and start PMing and, people direct messaging them and trying to source and farm from my community, I don't like that. So not going to roll with it. Excuse me. Let's see what we got here. It's on our Discord. I work for a very major brand, and we were having problems getting ingredients for some things. Yes, it's a nightmare. All right, let's see. Man, you guys are loading up on questions. Thank you so much. If you don't mind me asking, bro, what's your pip catch per month? We've not counted for a couple of months now, just because I think we got to, I want to say 12,000 one month. And then we had another month, I think we're in the 5,000 to 5,000, 6,000. It's really not hard to catch the pips when you're trading US30 and NAS and gold. So it's really not fair. But yeah, I mean, we've had good runs. I mean, US30 is just our bread and butter. This one here, Brian, man, this is awesome. He says, I've known Andy since high school, and I've seen him through all of his ventures and wished I would have gotten in a lot of them when he pushed ideas years ago. Yeah, Brian, I mean, Brian's been around when I was talking about Bitcoin next to nothing. And that's something that a lot of people, also forget is, they'll see the whiskey that we drink or the places we go, and they're like, man, it's trading must be doing well. And I'll be 100%, honest with you guys that trading does pay really well. But at the end of the day, it's the cryptocurrency that's helped me get, where I'm at today. Cryptocurrency is the 100% foundation of the reason I'm at where I'm at today. How do you manage emotions during drawdown or losses? I don't over leverage. So because I don't over leverage, I don't have that tendency of getting stressed out about it. It's like, it's like this trade that we entered here. I wasn't worried about this trade being in 12,000 a drawdown because I have so much floating equity in that trade. So just don't over leverage and you'll be fine. At what point do you personally think someone is considered a consistent trader? When they've shown consistent withdrawals for a year, meaning over the course of a year, you can look and say, okay, month one, I withdrew, $1,200. Month two, I withdrew maybe $1,500. Month three, I withdrew $1,200. Month four, I withdrew $2,000. And you see the consistency of the withdrawals because again, guys, the money is not yours until it's in your bank account. As long as it's in your MetaTrader account, it's not yours because you can't spend it. You have to have it in your bank account to be able to spend it. I'm going to work my way from the bottom up now for a second because, man, let's see here. Let's see here. And let's see here. Yeah, Phantom. We're talking about the same person. What did you get from the Discord subscription? Whenever I trade live, you trade live with us. We have a crypto section, a Forex pair section, a stocks options section. We have a general section, the bar where people will go and talk. We do people will do local meetups, people will do local Zooms. I give my templates out, I give markups out, and you're in a community of traders. There's over, I think, 500 people in the private Discord, which is a lot of people. So there's a lot of information that's being shared back and forth in there. And I mean, some of these people have been with me for 3 years, so I mean, it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's a community that's more than just trading. I mean, there's a lot of people that you see, they're dealing with a death in the family or they're dealing with a sickness in the family, and other people in the community are willing to help out. And I just think that's really, really important to have. If you're having a losing day, when do you walk away for the day? 3 losses. If I have 3 losses back to back in the same day, I'll walk away. Yeah. So we're at now. Are you still doing the 10K for the 100K? Now I stopped trading that and just started trading my big account. I did the 10K from January until I think it was the end of April. Where we were just trading a new 10K account every single week. And it was fun. We had a lot of fun, but then it's like, I'm also missing out on some of my big moves myself. And it was hard for me just to trade multiple accounts. So I just went back to my big account and said, look, whatever I take on here, think about how much capital you have, how much that's divided into my capital, and then just go from there for your entries. So if you're trading, 10x less than what I'm trading, and I'm taking $100 per pip, then you would take $10 per pip and just do it that way. And man, I got to stretch, guys. My back's sore. I've been leaning over. Oh, reading those questions. So man, look at that. That wick right there on the bottom is only 112 pips from TP. This is wild. I just want it to go. Take it out. Guys, give me 1 second. I want to make sure that I've not missed anything. You got to be kidding me. Hold on 1 second. We're taking a trip, and I booked a Toro, and This lady is backed out. What in the world is she talking about? Dear Jesus. All right, let's see here. All right. Let's see. Do I use divergence at trading? Not really. I'm more trend lines and zone guy. You guys are funny. I like it. So we normally run these things. Man, we've been on today for a minute, an hour and 21 minutes. We'll stay on just for another, maybe 15 minutes or so, and see what happens with this trade. See how it turns out. I wonder how's my EJ trade looking? Man, we're right there. We're right there at that now. That's good. And then we got an odd J trade going. Where are we at with it? Throw that on the 30-minute. Go to my template. Oh, yeah, we're right there at that. That's nice. And check this trade here. Beautiful. My TP on that trade is right. I would say right there. 31336. And you know what? I was just thinking about it. I want to keep my top entry. I just thought about that. It's like, man, I got a TP down there, but you know what? I really need to keep this top entry. That top entry could be important because if it hits this TP on this daily zone, when we zoom out, that puts us still right in this area here, which before that next swing low is still another 827 pips. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to use a runner. I'm going to use a runner on that top one. All right. Read here. Dude, it could reverse right now and never come back, and it's still an amazing trade. It could. Like this is a good trade. So if we look at this trade setup from right here, I mean, we'll just play with it for a second. We've got 210 pips. That's 1426, 1361. And then this top entry here down is 1523. So, I mean, what you see on my screen right here is 4,310 pips. I think that's a record for me. I think the most I ever had was like 3,800 and something in one setup. So this one's 4,300 and some change. So yeah, this is a solid trade setup. So even if it reverses now, completely solid, I'm okay with it, but I'll still be bearish. For the returning members of the Pip Connect, shoot me a message on Instagram, please. I just looked at it, and it's right back at my level. I didn't catch, obviously, on EJ, I didn't catch the top of it up here, which would have been nice. Again, what do you have? It's on the 30-minute. You've got a wick fill, and look, rejection, 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 fall. It's the easiest and best setup a person can take in trading. You guys remember to subscribe, like, and turn on the notifications for Trading Nut Podcast. I kind of give this speech at the end of every week, and I want to give it now. This is something that Cam asked me to do, and I said I would do it, and I'm enjoying doing it. There's no money being exchanged. There's no favors from one to the other. It's simply, Andy, do you want to use my platform to trade live on Friday? And at first I was like, I really don't want to trade on Friday because one, it makes me very uncomfortable because Mondays and Fridays are the days I typically lose trades the most. So I just don't like trading on those days. But yet here I am because it's fun. It's uncomfortable, which I think is good for every trader. Every trader should be uncomfortable at some point with themselves just because it keeps you fresh. And it's allowed me to meet some new and cool people on here. So yeah, support Cam and we'll continue doing this. So that's kind of what I tell people, because that's a question I get asked a lot is, Andy, are you going to do this every Friday? As long as Cam will allow me to, I'll be here every Friday, unless I'm traveling or I have bad service or something's coming up. Outside of that, I'll be here. If you can't find me here, I can tell you where you can find me, and that's obviously on my Discord. Man, you guys wore me out with some questions. Like, that's the most questions I've ever had on a live in my life. So thank you guys for that. All right, let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing any appointments going on. All right, let's see here. And guys, I'm just checking my messages on here, make sure I haven't missed anything from the family. Check the Instagram out. And guys, I appreciate it. When you guys give me shout outs on social media, I don't people think I do that because I want the recognition. It's not. It's because there's a lot of people in this industry that I would have never met or came across if it wouldn't have been for social media. So when you share it, you never know. You could be one share away from it changing someone else's life. I mean, that's how it was for me. Someone shared Q Bank's post of him making a ton of money in trading. If they would not have shared that post, I probably would have never gotten involved in Forex ever, which means I wouldn't have met a lot of people who I consider family and are super close with me today. I would have never had the PIP Connect. So it's a big deal to share that. So for you guys that take pictures of the live stream and you put it up on social media and you tag me, know it means a lot. Like, it means a lot. So thank you so much. Let's read what we got here. Thanks for another great Zoom. Got 232 pips today during the Zoom. This live was awesome, Andy. Thanks for definitely going to rewatch this. Confirmed a lot of stuff for me. Thanks. Hey, Andy, if I have 100% of knowledge, see all the trades happen, but cannot benefit from it, what do you recommend? As far as Jacob, is that because of a capital situation? What is it there? Andy, I have 10K in my bank account. I work a 9 to 5 in accounting, but I love trading and want to become profitable trading. With my bank account, all I can do is buy funded accounts. And there's nothing wrong with buying funded accounts, like, at all. Funded accounts will work great if you treat them great. Meaning, if you actually treat the funded account as it should be, as proper risk, taking the profits, not over leveraging, not over trading, you can make really good money in funded accounts. Cody just said, I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have found out about Andy on Instagram. Teflon Sean, I say it now. Same here. He's like, QBank started me up as well. So, again, that's why I say it's important to share this, because you may have someone that's like, man, I'd love to trade live with someone on Friday. Oh, Andy's on Trading Nut, live Zoom. Cool. I mean, live trading. Let's jump on there on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. So again, like just by sharing it, it shows that we have engagement, and it shows me and Cam that what we're doing is reaching people. Because again, neither one of us are making money off this live stream. Well, I mean, I don't know. He may be making, I think when you do a live stream with the amount of people we have on here, you may make a couple of dollars, but guys, that's not changing a life. So when I say we're not making money, like this live stream is not paying us thousands and thousands of dollars. We're doing it because we like the engagement. We like working with people. We like talking with people. So again, when you guys take a screenshot and share it, it shows us you're engaged, and we'll continue doing it. Oh man. All right, all right. All right, guys. Well, still here just for a time. I've had a few people message me on Instagram, and they're like, hey, I can't jump on the live till about 10:40, 10:45. Do you care to wait on me? I don't mind one bit. So what I'm going to do real quick, guys, is I'm going to remove myself from the live. I'm going to keep the video up. I'm going to go check on the kids, and I'll be right back. by being on here. So that's not terrible. But what I can also show you this is this pays a lot more than subscriptions. This pays a lot more than doing the Zoom. So as you can tell, I would make more money not doing the live streams. I would have more time. I wouldn't even have to look at the chart right now. I'd actually be hanging out with my kids and my wife. But I'm hoping by doing this, people can learn and people can see and people can take. So, I know what you mean, GT 3911. So, I mean, I don't take it hard at all. I know exactly what you mean. So, yeah. I mean, it's when I say we don't make money on this stream, I don't consider $800 for doing something for 5 weeks for an hour or two making money whatsoever. When I'm a trader and I'm drinking, bottles of whiskey that cost, sometimes 10 times more than that, I don't consider that a lot of money. I made that comment was because Cam's not paying me to be here, and I'm not paying Cam to be here. It's strictly just a two-way road where he has helped me out. He was the first person to reach out to me and say, hey, I want to start putting you on something that is consistent with trading. And he had me come on his podcast doing a lot of stuff with cryptocurrency. So, I felt that this is my way of giving back was to trade live on his channel and go from there. But again, I know exactly what you mean, and I'll be transparent with that stuff. I have no problem. I mean, people can see that in the Discord. On the Discord, you can see how many new members are coming on. You can see how many members are leaving and everything. I have those numbers there because, again, I like transparency. It helps a lot. So he says, Jacob, Tripp, and a few more paid actors. Keep it up. I love it. Man, that's one thing that I've not been able to do. I've not been able to find the paid paparazzi and people to follow me around and do that stuff. It would be neat, though, for sure. But like I said, guys, I want to stay on here. I want to really watch what happens with this candle before we jump off this live. It may come back and tag us out there, which, I mean, that's 70 pips off. And this trend line here is one that it can play off of before it decides to fall. So we'll see what happens. But man, what a good live so far. We've covered a lot of subjects. We've covered a lot of ground. We've had some good trades. I love it. The Zooms that I trade are typically 9:15, 9:20 Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Phantom is done for the day. It's not a bad day, guys, at all. Like it's been a solid week. It's been a solid last few weeks that we've had these classes. So I freaking love it. Dun, dun, dun. And all right. So guys, we'll give this, we'll see what happens in this next 5-minute candle. We'll go till about 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, we'll go ahead and call it quits because at that time we will have been on for almost 2 hours. Dun, dun, dun. So get this message out real quick. I've got a meeting coming up at 11:30. Hey, Andy, remember today is Friday. I would take my profits and call it a nice week. Man, I would. But I'll tell you what. I've been watching this move for weeks now. Actually, I'll tell you how long I've been watching it. Give me a second here. I've been watching this move really since right here, the 19th and the 20th of May. And I'm a very stubborn person. It's something I tell people not to do. It's something I teach not to do. But I want to watch this move play out. I want to see it play out how I want it to. Doesn't always happen, trust me. I've been an active trader for 14 years, and your moves don't always play out. But there comes a time where you're like, you know what? I want to watch it play out. So even though it's a demo, I just made 190. That's all that matters, man. Like, as long as you are perfecting your move, as long as you are perfecting what you want out of trading, continue doing it. Just run with it and make it happen, bro. Do you have a system or a way that someone could follow, copy your trades? The private Discord. I mean, the private Discord is where I post everything that I do. What's the position count at? 4,310 pips is what it was. It's probably a little bit less than that now because we've lost about 100-ish pips between four. So it's about 3,900-ish right now. So not too shabby at all. All right. I said 11 o'clock we'll go to. We'll just see what happens. When we look at this on the 1 minute, yeah, it's got a lot of room to come back up to that trend line because that's a 30-minute trend line that we have right here at the top, and that's a really clean move up. But again, won't worry about this one. I've protected it. I got a lot of message about you guys closing out down here where it started rejecting. So congrats to you guys. I mean, that turned out to be a total of 239 pips in this area where it started coming up 179, even where it's at right now, 71. So not terrible at all. Solid trade. Why do you only trade US30? I don't. I trade other pairs. I only trade US30 live because if you're trading another pair live, it's barely moving. It's like watching paint dry. What's up, Glenn? Glad to have you here. Any classes in Miami? I don't at the moment. We've got some stuff going on in Florida, but not Miami. Kind of like the Santa Rosa Beach area. I think it's where one of our classes is going to be. We don't have anything in Cali. There's nothing happening all the way to Cali. The furthest west we're going to go is the Texas area. So any of the Cali people, that way it makes it a little bit shorter flight for them instead of having to come all the way to the East Coast. We don't have a date yet for Florida. It kind of depends on how these other classes go. If we're doing the whole, if we get through a couple of cities and we see that the direction of them is going well, the feedback's good, people are really enjoying themselves, we're going to continue doing it. If it's not, and we see that, people are like, it was good, but Andy, you could have changed this, or I didn't learn much, or, I really wasn't feeling it, then yeah, we'll take some break and, revamp and come up with the content and make it work well. Because the goal for these is to really have people in a position where they understand it's not just trading. Keep that in mind. So the 3-day class is over entrepreneurship, e-commerce, Forex, crypto, stocks. We'll go over taxes. We've got my tax accountant that will be coming to explain what to do with your taxes with Forex, what to do with your taxes with crypto, and really diving in how to save you money there. So it's more than just, let me show you how to trade. There's a lot that's going into it. So we want to be sure that everyone is truly getting out of it what they should be. What's up, Glenn? Discord can be found at thepipconnect.com. Man, that GU position, it's looking really nice. I mean, there's that arrow down. If you guys remember, this was our push up that we had. And then I said, if we push up and break out of this zone, we're going to push back up to this 1.32. And you can see right there, it never pushed up above it on the daily candle. So we're pushing downward now. I said I would run it to about right there. So that'll put it at, that trade roughly at $155,000 to $149,000. if I run it down to the bottom. So that's kind of the zone of interest, which is a wick fill area. So if we take and we fill in the bottom of that wick to the candle, you can see that's kind of the area of interest right there. No, yeah. I knew, trust me, I knew that you wasn't for GT 3911. I'll go ahead and put this up here so you guys know who I'm talking about. I didn't take it that way whatsoever. So no disrespect, nothing at all. I did want to just, reiterate on what you were saying was, yes, money will be made. Anytime it's like me going to be a guest speaker at an event, if they don't pay me money, it's like, you're being a guest speaker at this event, and you said they didn't pay you money, but you signed up 5 people. So it's like, yeah, I went to this event, I made $1,000, but keep this in mind. If you go to an event, you make $1,000, but you pay for your Airbnb, you pay for your food, you pay for your plane ticket and all this stuff. It's like you didn't make money. So, and that's what I explain to people, like for the FX Summit. The FX Summit, for me to take my crew down there, my family, the food, the planes, the car rentals, everything that we did, I mean, we surpassed, I said it was like 28, 29K. But after I just got all of our bills and everything back in, we were close to almost $33,000. So when you think about that, it's like, did I make $33,000? Absolutely not. For $33,000, I wrote down on my notepad here, I'd had to sell 110 memberships. And we did not sell 110 memberships. I think we only sold like 2, because I did some free giveaways and stuff with people that stopped by the booth. So like we didn't make any money on that. And people were like, well, bro, when you go to the FX Summit, like you're going to crush it. You're probably going to make 100K off that trip. And it's like, no. We actually lost about $32,000, but I don't look at it as a loss because I was able to meet people that I've been following, for years, or people that have been following me. I got to hear stories, man. I had people actually coming up, hugging me and crying because of how much their life has changed. So again, it was just one of those places where it's like, wow, this was worth it. So GT 3911, trust me, no hard feelings. I'm glad you're here. I know it was no disrespect. You were talking about the overall context of what was taking place, and I appreciate that. So not a problem at all, man. How long did it take you to become profitable? Not long, because I've been a trader for 14 plus years. So when I came into Forex, coming from a crypto, Forex moves very slow. Like even US30, moves slow. I've been trading US30, for 14 years, because that's part of the stock market. And I traded the stock market beforehand. I just like the MT5 and MT4 platform when it comes to trading these positions, especially when you can use leverage. What was it like when you saw Anthony's World losing 500K on US30? Man, it was, for y'all that don't know that story, I was actually in Arizona with him when he had that loss. We went to bed that night talking about trading, and we were sitting outside having the time of our life, relaxing, eating. We'd had a couple of drinks, smoked a cigar. And he was like, man, I'm heading to bed. And I was like, you taking any trades? And I was like, man, probably not. And he obviously went in the bedroom and started looking at trades, comes back in the kitchen. We're talking. He enters some sells or buys. I forget which one it was. I don't remember if it was buys or sells, but he entered on US30, and he ended up going to sleep, and he just went to sleep on it. Woke up the next morning. I'm already sitting in the kitchen. I've got my cup of coffee. He's got on his robe. He's got his little hairband on with his fluffy hair everywhere. I still have a picture of it. I need to post it on Instagram and be like, this is what a guy looks like when they lose $500,000. But I took a picture of him because I was like, bro, you look like you had a rough night. And he was like, dude, I just lost $500,000. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, check this out. And he pulls up his account and I saw it. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? He went, well, we got to go to Whole Foods and get some food because I'm freaking starving. We'll need some beer because it's hot outside and we're going to go swim. And he's like, and then we're going to go pick up the pista. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. He was like, nope, we're doing it. And I was like, all right. So we went to Whole Foods, got food, came back, fixed breakfast, had a beer mosa, and then went and picked up the pista. So that was it. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life. And that's what taught me a lot about the whole, attachment to money and not letting money control your emotions in the trades. And again, someone say, well, how could he not be attached to that? It's like, because he wasn't over leveraged. Even though he lost that, he still wasn't over leveraged, So when do you expect the live event in Santa Rosa? It'll probably be around the September, October timeframe. Good question. And I don't mind to answer it. But do you trade within legal entities to help shelter yourself from taxes? I don't. I don't play the tax game of trying to move money around and have it in this business to this business to where you don't do this and you don't do that. I just pay my taxes. When you look at trading and you look at how much money you get from trading by pushing a button, it's like you pay your taxes. If you're trading a $20,000, $30,000 account and at the end of the year you double it and you make 30K, pay your taxes. It's because you made money. So just pay them, and it gives you a lot less stress. And just have a good accountant. Like, that's another big thing. Having a good accountant will change your life. And that's the reason that I've got my accountant coming to these events to where they can really help people set up their businesses right, set up their personal finances right, and just be in the know. Yeah, he did not have a stop on that trade, which is wild. All right, let's see here. I've got a few questions coming through my phone. Make sure everybody's taken care of. Oh, man. Give me 1 second here, guys. Make sure I've got everybody to get all my people taken care of. All right. Whoa. Check the questions here. Make sure I missed anything. How do you manage risk on losing streaks? As long as you're not over leveraged, it's not a big deal. And I think there's a lot of people that underestimate the under leveraged aspect of things, because we think, like, for example, if I'm holding $1,000 worth of drawdown and I've got a $10,000 account, that may stress you out. But if you've got $100 of drawdown on a $10,000 account, you may not be stressed at all. But when you talk about that, people are like, well, but if you don't over leverage, you don't make a lot of money. It's like, that's not the goal. The goal is to build capital over a period of time, and then you can leverage correctly. That's why people fell in Forex. It has nothing to do with, yes, if you've got a B-book broker or a broker that's just crap, yes, you can get stopped out. Yes, they can run B-book software and take positions. They can do those things. Yes, having a bad computer that's not fast enough, slow internet can mess your trades up. But at the end of the day, the reason every single person in Forex loses is because they're over leveraged. That's the main part. How many people do you see that are in great positions for buys and it goes down and drawdown of 50 pips? They close the trade only for it to shoot up 400 pips. It's what happens because they were over leveraged. If they were only trading $1, $50 a drawdown would have been nothing, and then they would have made $300. But because they were trading $10 a pop, being in drawdown $500 scared the crap out of them, but they would have made $3,000. It's all relative to how much capital they have. Let's see. Thanks for all your time. Eds, thank you so much, bro. Thank you. Looking forward to the event down here. Enjoyed the session. Thank you for sharing your experience and wisdom. Thanks for being here, for real. I appreciate that. Hey, buddy. Good to see you trade. It's encouraging, but which broker do you trust? Upper left-hand corner, man. Carbon Capital FX all day. That's who I trust. There's great brokers out there, but this is the one I use. It's the one I've been using for, I think, a little over a year and a half now. So I trust them wholeheartedly. The goal is to grow and compound all day. What do you think of retail FX future and prop firm futures? Are you talking about like the futures of how they're going to operate within the market? How about funding where you get 10% room with their account? I've never thought about like playing with funding partners' money and stuff. I think it's too risky, especially in today's market. For me personally, Glenn, that is correct because that video was old. That's Todd did. Since then, we've had an increase there for that Discord only because of the content and things we create. When we first, so give you guys some background on the Discord. When I first created the Discord, it was markups only. That was it. We were just giving markups. And then it turned into, Andy, we want you to go on these Zooms. So then I started going on Zooms. And then it turned into, Andy, we want you to go on these live Zooms whenever you trade. So then it turned into 3 times a week. And then it turned into going on nightly Zooms, into supplying education to the people of the community, to doing all these things. So it just grew so fast that it's like, man, I'm not really like the value of what people are getting for $11 a day. I mean, people go out to Chick-fil-A and eat something that they're going to dump in the toilet later and doesn't bother them. People will go get a cup of coffee and spend $6 to $7. It's not going to benefit them in any way other than give them, energy. And that's it. So it's like, I wanted to make it to where it's like, no, if it holds you accountable and it holds me accountable. If I know people are paying for a product and service of mine, I have to be there. I have to show up. And I have to do what's best. Please don't attack Chick-fil-A. Man, I have to because I was actually on a podcast last week. I don't know if the podcast will end up being aired because about halfway through it, we got pretty deep in some stuff that would probably bring on a ton of lawsuits. So they're like, man, this is going to be a lot of edit. But if we edit out everything, the podcast will never make it. So we'll see. But I mean, I just went into details about like if you think about people that go out to get coffee at Starbucks, that eat at Chick-fil-A, that do these things. And when we realize middle class can't even afford that. I mean, let that sink in. We're about to get real here for a second. A person in middle class cannot afford to eat out at Chick-fil-A every day. A person in middle class can't even afford to go get a cup of coffee at Starbucks every day. But how many people that live in middle class or possibly even below that do it every day? I'll explain why. The average person right now, when you look at state to state, which each state varies, and you get an average of what a middle class person makes in income, okay? And then you figure out the taxes and everything they got. It comes out to be about $14 to $16 an hour on the high end, and then around $11 to $12 on the low end. If you go to a Chick-fil-A and you get a value meal with a drink and everything, and you had to wait in line, you had to go through the drive-thru, you had to drive there, it's going to cost you 1 hour of your work life, okay? So if you eat out lunch every single day for 7 days a week, that's 7 hours of your work for that week. Over the course of a month, that's 28 hours of your work. That's more than half of a work week just to eat out for lunch. It gets even better. If you get a cup of coffee in the morning at Starbucks, everyone's addicted to it, or you get a Bang energy drink from the gas station or anything of that nature, you're going to lose an entire week of your income paying for lunch and coffee. So that means a whole week of your month working, slaving at your job, you just lost to Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. And we wonder why are so many people struggling in America? It's because everyone does things thinking, well, because they do it, I can do it. I've got a friend who's broke and he's eating at Chick-fil-A every day. Okay, but do you have the money to eat there every day? Like, think about what that means. Think about your time and figure out the hours that you work. Is it worth it? Okay, it's like going out to eat dinner. If you're taking your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anyone out to eat dinner, and you know that dinner is going to cost you $150. If you only make $50 an hour, it took you 10 hours to afford that one dinner. Okay, so if you do that once a week, you just lost 40 hours of your work. So eating dinner out once a week with you, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, for 4 times a month, that's it, just 4. You lost an entire 40-hour work week of money. So when we look at what people are already doing and how they spend money and how they live, I like using the Chick-fil-A Starbucks analogy, because it's like, think about how many people eat at Chick-fil-A and Starbucks who aren't technically making the money to even be able to do that, but they continue to do it. And that's where light bulbs start going off, and you're like, dang, I got to rethink this. And it really didn't hit me till I was at a gas station one night. It's been about 3 years ago. We lived in an area called Hickson, and me and Noah were at a gas station getting just some drinks. So the kids wanted some waters. They wanted some snacks. Hannah wanted a bag of chips. Me and Noah got, I think I got a decaf coffee. He got something else. And we went to check out. The lady was like, I'll never forget. She's like, it'll be $88.26. And I'm like, I didn't think a thing about it. Stick my card in, swap it. We walk out. And Noah looked at me. He went, man, look at that. And I looked across the street, and there's a Sonic. And on the Sonic sign, it said now hiring, and they're starting out at $10 an hour. He's like, man, by the time you take taxes out of that and everything else they got to pay, they would have had to work 11 hours to come to this gas station and get snacks. And I was like, dang, that's a whole day's worth of work plus some of the next day just to go to a gas station to get some water, some chips, and snacks. Gets even better if they fill their car up with gas and they're running, say you're filling your car with gas and it's $120 and you've got that $8 an hour. That's 15 hours. So between getting your gas and going and getting your family snacks, you just lost 25 hours of your work week. Just with that one stop. You still have your house payment. You still have your cell phone. You still have internet. You still have electric, water, gas, car payment, whatever it is. You still have all those bills set aside. So, yes, I know, because when you say, there's people telling me, Andy, look, $2.99 a month, bro, I only make $12 an hour. That eats up 24 hours of my month just to be able to pay for that. Again, trading is not cheap. Trading is expensive because you have to have the capital there. And if the money's not there, you have to work to build more capital. For someone that's making, say, $10,000 a month, $2.99 is absolutely nothing. But if you're making $1,000 a month, $2.99 is expensive. And that's where I want people to not focus on the trading aspect and build more capital. The more capital you have, the more money you can make in trading. So just wanted to point that out. I mean, a little sidetrack there. Didn't have much to do with trading, but I wanted to at least touch on that subject because that's people. There's so many people in America that live like they're wealthy that aren't. And I'm not being rude when I say that. It's the honest to God's truth. There's people I know that are buying, $400 or $500 pairs of shoes. They're buying, expensive watches. They've got expensive cars, expensive houses, expensive taste in food. And it's like, dude, you're not making that type of money. Why are you doing it? It's like, well, because I got the money. It's like, yeah, but you're having to live paycheck to paycheck with this lifestyle. Just stop. Like I talked about on one of my Zooms, there was a time where me and my wife, for our dinner, we would literally go to play. I'm sure y'all heard of Costco, Sam's. It's like a massive, massive stockpile of Walmart stuff. And we would go there. We'd get a box of their little, fancy looking crackers, your little water crackers, the thin ones that are about this big right there. And we would get a box of crackers. We would get some deli meat, and we would get the cheese, the little cheese squares they sell in a big pack. And we'd get hot sauce. And for dinner, we would lay out 8 crackers on a plate, put the deli meat on top of it, put the cheese on top, put the hot sauce on it, throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and that was our dinner. And we could live off a box of crackers with cheese and meat for almost an entire week. Was it healthy? No. Were we getting proper nutrition? I mean, you could argue the fact that we got protein and carbohydrates and a little bit of fat in, but it wasn't the best. But we also knew that it doesn't cost us a lot of money. We can eat cheap. We would fix pasta that would last us all week long. We would do those things because we knew the more money we save, the more capital we're going to have to invest in crypto, the more capital we're going to have to invest in ourselves, the more capital we're going to have to pay off bills, the more capital we're going to have to do anything we want to do. But it was hard. Was there times that we looked at each other and just cried all day? I'll never forget it. We were in the kitchen one night and we were cooking crock pot chicken. So we had all the chicken in a crock pot. We're cooking it. We had been eating bare bones for weeks. And Hannah just looked at me and we're laughing. And we're like, wow, this is our meal. We're cooking a pot of chicken and we're going to make, chicken spaghetti out of it. And we just looked at each other and it went from laughing to crying because it's like we see all of our friends going out and they're eating at the restaurants. And we see all of our friends going out and partying on the weekends. We saw all of our people, that were newlyweds going out on big dates. And as a husband, I'm watching other husbands buy their, wives these nice purses and buying their wives nice cars and buying their wives, all these vacation trips and just taking them on vacation, just doing all this stuff. And for me, I'm like, why can't I do that for my wife? And this was when MySpace was really taken on. And I was like, why? What are they doing so much differently than I'm not? Like, how can they do this stuff? And I realized quickly they wasn't doing it because they had money. It was all on credit. The purses, the shoes, the outfits, the cars, everything was on credit. That they were just stretching themselves and stretching and stretching and stretching. And I told Hannah, I was like, babe, I know I can't give this to you now. At one point in time, we were on a very, very high scale and we lost it all. And I knew what we had to do to get back. And that's what we did. We had a sofa in our house that looked like something that come out of a 1980s grandma house. It had flowers all over it. Like, it was the most embarrassing sofa to have in your house, but it was free. And I sat there and I said, babe, one day, if you just trust me, just trust me. I know it's not good now. I know it bothers you. And she never told me it did. She was like, babe, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me to see other friends wear this or wear that. And I was like, I know it does. You don't have to tell me. I know it does. But it's like, I knew it bothered Hannah when we're out somewhere and she's carrying around a little bitty purse that she's been carrying around for years. That's, it's frayed on the bottom. The design's coming off of it, and her friends have their new, Louis Vuittons or, anything that they had. Or we go out to eat dinner and Hannah's wearing the same pair of heels that she's had for years, and her friends have on the newest, red bottoms and the LVs and all this stuff. Like, Hannah never said anything about it, but I knew that deep down she was like, I would really like to have that. So I told her, I said, if you trust me, babe, there will come a day where all these people who are buying all these cars and all these houses and all these purses will have to continue to work. They will have to continue to work to afford the lifestyle they've created for themselves. One day we will be in a position where we won't have to work. We won't have to stress over these things. And I will be able to give you anything you want. If you want a car, I got you. If you want a LV purse, I got you. We'll get 10 of them. If you want the shoes, I got you. I'll be able to buy you anything you want. Just trust me. And we won't have to stress about living the paycheck to paycheck. We won't have to stress over how are we going to pay for this. Just trust me. And she trusted me. And it took a few years. We got married in 2006. And it wasn't until 2014, 15, things actually started going good for us. Then things started really going great in 2018 and 19. And here we are today. So I say all this, I know it doesn't have a lot to do with trading in general, but what it has a lot to do with is life. So, when we think about the people who are like, but I want to be like them. I want the cars like them. I want the watches like them. Just remember, their situation is not the same as yours. And as long as you focus on yourself and make the proper sacrifices and continue to grind and work, you will continue to elevate. You will continue to be better. You will continue to get better, everything. And sometimes those sacrifices suck. Guys, I was a husband. I was a man. And Hannah would be taking a shower or she'd be in bed asleep and I'd be sitting on the couch with my notepad just writing on how am I going to do this? How am I going to get to where I want to be? How many hours do I have to work? How many nights do I have to sleep in my car because I'm so tired I can't even walk in my house? Like, it sucked. It was horrible. And Hannah will tell you, there were times I'd come in and I would just be taking a shower crying, and she'd come in the bathroom. She's like, babe, are you crying? I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't even know. I'm emotional. I'm so tired and so emotionally drained. I have nothing left in me. I just felt like crying. And she's like, babe, it'll be okay. We're fine. And I'm like, no, we're not. We're not fine. We're married. You're beautiful. You should have everything in this world. And here we are eating crackers and cheese. And she was like, babe, we'll eat crackers and cheese every day if we have to. So there was a lot that we had to go through. But man, I'll tell you what, it paid off. It paid off big. And I wouldn't have changed anything about the journey because that's what made it so sweet. So for you guys that are watching this and, you're maybe like, man, I'm not getting to do the other things my friends are doing. Just think about your goals. Think about the things you want to achieve and think about your why and just focus on you. Stop watching other people. Stop watching the cars that they get. Stop watching the watches they're wearing, the clothes they're wearing, anything. Stop watching it because their life is not your life. And at the end of the day, the fact that we're alive, we're already winning. Okay. If we're alive in this journey, we're already winning because someone today is burying a husband and a wife, a kid, a significant other. There's someone that they're losing. Their life ended. There's someone who made a post this morning on Instagram, talking about their family and kids. And that'll be the last post they ever made because they died on their way to work. So when we think about that, we have to all remember we're alive. We have tools. Let's go. I've missed a lot of questions. So, man, I just want to scroll through here to make sure I haven't missed anything too crazy because we said we're going to get off at 11. It's 11:21. Americans in Washington have a spending problem. Yes, they do. A few cents a day can eat ramen noodles, and no one in America is too poor to eat. It is. It's we put other priorities ahead, Glenn, for sure. Love hearing these stories, Andy. Being 26 years old, striving to get out of the rat race, hearing your struggle shows me that it's possible to get all day. It did not come overnight. I can promise you that, brother. It did not come out overnight. This is the stuff no one ever wants to do, but makes all the difference. I still remember eating nothing but boxed instant potatoes and spaghetti for so long. Yeah, so this is my guy Matthew right here, and he owns his own custom glass shop. You ever need custom glasses? Anything that has to do with eyewear, you get with this guy. He's got a custom eyeglass store in probably the most prominent real estate area in downtown Chattanooga. And you just heard it from him of what he had to eat every day to get to where he's at. And guess what? He's got nice cars. He has nice houses now. He has nice things. He's got a business. You know why? Because he had to struggle to get to where he was because he saw his end goal. So, right here in the chat, that's someone I know personally, can vouch for him. Guys, it's all over the place. We just don't know what everyone has to go through because most people don't show it. Like when things were going rough, I didn't post on Facebook and MySpace about the things that we were having to eat and the sacrifices we were having to do. I didn't want people to know that struggle, because at the time it's like I wasn't proud of it. But now when I look back at it, it's like, no, people should know what the struggle was. People should know it because now it's not going to make them feel embarrassed. It's not going to make them feel bad about what they're doing because that's part of it. When Jeff Bezos was going through his bill come up on his business, he didn't look like a millionaire. The guy looked homeless and he made sacrifices. And now look at him. It's the story of everyone. We've all been there. I promise you. Look at Anthony Williams. Look at Q Banks. Go back and look at Q Banks. Q Banks will tell you. He's like, bro, I look sick. That was out of Q's own mouth. He's like, I look sick. I was skinny. I was malnourished. Like I was working at Target trying to come up, saving every dime I had to get into trading. Look at his journey. Look at Anthony's. Dropping out of high school, working for his dad's business, sleeping on other people's couches. It's all of our stories. It's just a lot of people forget about those stories and think we just woke up one day, boom, there we were. It's like, no, we wasn't. There was a lot of bad times here. So it's there, man. And yes, this will be live on YouTube later. As soon as we stop the broadcast, it'll be uploaded for a rewatch. Thank you, Jordan, for that. I appreciate it. Sometimes I worry that by the time I'm successful, she may not be around. MJ, I'll be 100% honest, man. As a guy, that's something we all think about. I never doubted my wife. I never doubted our relationship. But you think about it. There are times where you're like, man, they deserve more. They deserve a nicer house. They deserve a nicer car. they deserve nicer things, especially when they're moms and they're taking care of the children. They're doing all this stuff while you're gone working. If she is the right person, if she is the one that is meant to be there, if she is the one who supports you through thick and thin, she'll be there 100%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And that was something that I learned, as through all the struggles we had and everything that we did, she stood by me. And when you have someone like that, you realize that yes, that's the one. And that's why when you do make it, you give them everything you can. When you get there, you spoil them. You take care of them. You do everything in your power. Because why? Because they made sacrifices during that time. And that's probably one of the biggest advices I can give to any guy that's watching this, that has a woman in your life, another man, whatever you've got, whatever your mojo is, okay? If you've got someone that's with you through all these sacrifices and then you finally make it, don't buy yourself the nice watch, the nice cars, the nice clothes, the nice shoes, and then show off on your social media, leaving them behind. Take care of the ones that made the sacrifice. That's why I got my wife the cars I did. That's why I got my wife the shoes and the purses. And that's why I took her on vacations. That's why I bought my daughter the horses, my son the motorcycles, my other daughter all the Barbie dolls in the world that she wanted. Because guess what? My kids made a sacrifice. They didn't see dad for a long time. There was a lot of nights that my kids are sleeping on a concrete floor of my office because Hannah just wanted the kids and herself to be with me. Even though I was working, they just wanted to be around me. My kids sacrificed a lot of their childhood of not being able to play with toys and watch TV and have fun because you know why? They were in a car with dad driving all over the place, making deliveries, throwing newspapers, doing stuff that they didn't have to be part of, but they were. So give back to those who made the sacrifice with you before you give it to yourself. Because if you give it to yourself first, that's where they will say, wow, you did this for you. Like you really did this for you, instead of he really did this for us. It's a conversation I like to get in a lot with dads. When I see working dads who are never at home because they're always working and working and working and working, and then I go out and I have a few drinks with them or we're hanging out and they're like, well, I'm just doing this for my family. I'm doing this for the kids. I'm doing this for my wife. And I'm like, hold up. You're the one that just bought you a new set of golf clubs. You're the one that just bought you that new watch. Didn't you just get a new car too? Yeah, I did. My old car was about to fall apart, but it's still running, right? Yeah, it just didn't look that good. Where'd you get your kids? What do you mean? Well, you said you're working all these hours and working this career to build something for them. So where'd you get them? Well, I mean, I haven't got them anything yet. Well, how much money do you have in their investment account? How much money have you invested for your kids? Well, I mean, Andy, I'm just trying to get there. So let me get this straight. You bought yourself all new golf clubs, new watch, new clothes, new car. You've not put anything back for your kids. And you've not taken care of your wife yet. Oh, my wife's taken care of. I mean, she's got a nice house. You mean your house, y'all's house, the family's house. That's what, it's not her house. It's y'all's house. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, she doesn't have to do like crazy amounts of stuff. I tell you, what have you got in your wife? You've been making all these sacrifices, not being at home, always being gone. Like, what have you done? And we soon find that we use it as a crutch. We use the kids and the wife as a crutch to say we're doing it for them, yet we're the ones with all the bling. We're the ones with all the cars. We're the ones with all the watches. We're the ones popping bottles left and right. But yet we're doing it for our kids. But yet we're doing it for our wife. Hold on. Shouldn't they be benefiting too? Well, they are, because they get to live this life with me. They are because they don't have to work. And they are, bro. You better get out a journal and start writing down, because you're going backwards. Well, backwards. Because on the Zoom, I'm opposite. So it's, we have to give back to those that make sacrifice. So MJ, when you're in this position and you do make it, because I believe you will, everyone on this Zoom, everyone on this live stream will make it if you continue to grind away. It may not be trading. It may be your own business you start up. It may not be trading. It may be working for another company that brings you on as a partner. But if everyone continues to strive, you'll make it. Hold on one second, guys. I got to take a brief break. I got to get this phone call. All right, I'm back. Let's see, make sure I haven't missed any here. Yep, said it right. She ain't the one, MJ. Yeah, you've got to have someone that's going to be there. Short and simple. Bro, this is hitting way too close to home. That's why we're all here. Let's see. Thanks for your time and insight, Andy. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Being a good father is uncommon. I love hearing that's important to you. It's the only thing I got, man. Like my wife and kids are the only thing I have in this life. Outside of that, I don't have much of anything. Currently in my sacrifice phase with my husband. I'm not going anywhere, and your words will remind me to stay supportive when it feels hard. As long as he's doing it for the team, that's all that matters. Like I said, if you see a husband or a wife out here sacrificing and they're living a great life and everyone else in their family is not, the kids don't have, good shoes, or the kids' clothes don't fit anymore. There's not any food in the refrigerator. The wife, if the wife's like, I want to go get my nails done, the husband's like, no, you're not. But then he's going out here with his buddies and golfing and spending hundreds of dollars on beer and all this stuff, then no, he's not sacrificing for the family. He's doing it for himself. It has to be all the way across the board if you're making the sacrifice. This right here. Thank you, bro. And we just dropped a standard on it. Let's see here. I'm in the same boat. I don't want to be rich, but I want to provide for my family in a way generations before I never could. I want it so bad, and I keep digging my hole deeper. Better days coming. So, Sean, yes, better days will come, brother. They will. I'm telling you right now, even when I was in my darkest of moments and areas in life, I had to remind myself there's more to it. There's more to it. And sometimes it can be the circle of friends you're hanging out with. Sometimes it can be the energy you're around. And if you are, you have to disconnect yourself from it and remove yourself from it. Simple as that. And this right here, guys, this is what it's about right here, where he says, I plan to give her a large check over dinner. This is it. I actually did it with Hannah. I posted on Instagram a while back where I had a picture of Hannah holding this cash. And I went up to her and I said, here, this is yours. She's like, for what? I was like, for whatever you want. She's like, I don't want it. I'm like, no, go buy clothes. I'm good. I'm like, you sure? She's like, yeah, let's just save it and use it for something else. And she didn't even want to accept it because she knew how hard we had worked for it, that there was no reason to go spend it on materialistic things. We needed to use it to invest. We needed to use it to better ourselves. So that's what you have to do. And Black Dot Family, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And man, all you guys still hanging out here, I love it. I mean, don't have a ton of people, but 173 people on here on this live is great. Appreciate your unfiltered and openness, Andy. So, Jonathan, that's where it goes back to the transparency of what we all have to talk about and be through. We should all be humble. We should all be understanding of what other people have to go through and what we've been through, and not just come on here and be the guy I could easily come on here with my trades that I've taken and the reputation I've built for myself over the years and be like, man, y'all are on with the GOAT. Let's go, man. Let's show these people how to trade. If you can't win today, you suck. Like, man, let's kill it. Let's go. But man, that's not me. That's called an egotistical, arrogant, you know what? Like, that's not going to do me any good, because that's not who we are. Who we are is just people. Like, I'm a normal dude. I'm in this cheap little chair that I bought. Like, I've got a little Windows laptop. I don't have any fancy built computer. I'm chilling. And it's like, when you realize that we're all here for the same purpose, just to have fun and, make a little bit of extra money, and we're all chasing freedom. Some people aren't. Some people are chasing materialistic things. But I mean, for the bulk majority of people, we want to chase freedom. Man, you can't put a price on that. So I want to be the person that people can relate to. I want to be the person that people can actually talk to, and not like, that was probably the biggest thing that I got away from the FX Summit. I had a guy walk up to me and he was like, sir. And I looked at him. I was like, what's up, man? And I recognized him because he has himself as his profile picture, and I follow him. And he was like, yes, sir. Can I talk to you for a second? And I'm like, first off, his name's Edwin. I was like, first off, Edwin, bro, you don't have to call me sir. You can call me Andy. You can call me bro. You can call me dude, whatever you want to. I was like, bro, bring it in. So we do the little hug thing. He comes over, I hug him, and he's like, well, I won't take up much of your time, and I'll pay you if you want me. I was like, bro, you don't have to pay me. Like, I'm at the FX Summit here to talk to you, to talk to you guys. So we sit there and talk back and forth. We talk for probably 35 minutes. When we get done, he's like, this was crazy. And I was like, man, it's all crazy. Like, we're all here to see each other and talk. This is what's wild. Later that night, I got an Instagram message from him. And it was like this big, where he was just thanking me. He's like, man, I can't believe how down to earth you are. And I can't believe that you sit there and actually talk to me. And I'm like, bro, that's like, I'm nothing special. Like, trust me, we are all in this event, hanging out, chilling. Like, that's what we do. So it's funny when people in the Forex community, the crypto community, and all this stuff, when they start classifying themselves as, celebrities, or you can't do this, or you can't talk to me unless you do, and all this, it's like, man, like, it's really hard to put yourself in that situation, because we're not celebrities. I can walk in Walmart and maybe see a couple of friends, and that's it. Take someone like a Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake and let them walk in Walmart. They have to shut the Walmart down. That's called a celebrity. If you guys know about Chattanooga, Tennessee, the Georgia area, I mean, look at Kane Brown, the country artist, pop country, whatever you want to call the kid. He's a good dude. Me and my wife, we've got to meet him several times. I was actually just talking to him on Instagram a couple of days ago. Great dude. And guess what? When he comes into town, if he goes to the mall, it shuts the mall down. That's called a celebrity. When he goes to a restaurant, he'd have to rent out an entire restaurant just to even go eat there. That's called a celebrity. We're Forex traders. We click buttons on a computer. When we go into a mall, we don't shut it down. When we go into a restaurant, we don't shut it down. When we go into a city, we don't shut down a city. He came into the city for a concert, and it shut the whole city down, like 10 blocks. Half of Chattanooga's police force was there. When Andy Peters comes to Chattanooga, that doesn't happen to me. When Anthony Williams comes to Chattanooga, that didn't happen for him. Like, we're not celebrities. And that's something people have to understand, is we are just normal people who click buttons on a chart and have fun with it. So I think that's kind of what's just kept me humble, is it's like, man, I've hung out with celebrities. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to go into the mall with a celebrity and the whole mall just stop and just crowd them, and they have to get a police escort just to leave the mall. It's like, we're nowhere near that level. So it's the humbleness that comes with it, for sure. See what we got here. Look how far it dropped and used your best. Let's see, best video ever can. Really with a span. Let's see. I have no idea. Can I enter now? Can I enter now? No, you can't. Unfortunately, bro, you just got blocked. Let's see. I learned that I can block people on here, which is pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that before. Renee says, crying ugly tears. Hope to jump back into your Discord again. For now, get my mental right. Please, please, please always get your mental right. That is the most important thing we have as human beings, is our mental and physical health. You have to take care of both. So thank you so much, though, for being on this, for live with us on this Friday. My wife already gave me the okay to quit work to concentrate on trading, even though I wouldn't do that just yet, but I was beyond grateful. Eric, that says a lot, man. That says a lot. You seem to be a good father figure, really. I appreciate that. I do the best I can. I do the best I can. And that's all we can do. At the end of the day, being the best that we can be is it. Let's see. I'd rather be an incognito, filthy rich Forex trader than a celebrity. Hot, dusty 3,000 all day. I like that hot, dusty 3,000. I'm going to use that one day. I'm going to get in a trade. I'll be like, hot, dusty. Look at that trade. Let's see here. You use psychological levels? I do. Mostly with crypto. Cryptocurrency plays on psychological levels more than the Dow Jones does, because since the Dow Jones is controlled by 30 other stocks that are being traded within it, you may have psychologically things happening with some of those stocks and not all of them, whereas crypto is, yes, psychological all day. Father of Forex. I always say I'm like the dad of the guys, just because I'm the oldest one. I'm not the wisest. There's some Forex traders who have been through a lot to be in their mid to late 20s. I mean, a lot. So I do have to give them credit where credit is due, for sure. So, all right, guys, it's going on 11:39. We've been on this thing for 2.5 hours. Holy cow. I think this is the longest live I have ever done, outside of the ones I've done with Roy, where we did the the 24-hour event on live YouTube. What do you think about ICT? Not much. Not really read into it. Study the whole ICT thing. I know a lot of people talk about it. I kind of stay in my own corner. You guys will find that out a lot about me. I kind of stay in just my own little world over here when it comes to trading. I try not to get in that mindset of what is this person doing? What is this person talking about? What's their trades look like? I don't look at other traders' setups. They post it on social media. I'll just typically float right through it. I care more about what they're doing on their daily basis, where, what them and their kids are doing, where they're going, what do they have planned. And that's really it. So I try to stay out of the other realm of things. It just helps me keep my mind clear. Can you see your zones marked up on the left, if any? Yeah, you can see your zones. So, basically that's my only zone I've got is right here. This is the one from today. The chart with the most zones on it's going to be the one we had from a couple of weeks ago, which I believe is, this one here. So this was our break zones that we had right there. And then on this one, we had, this was our up, where we jumped up. So I was like having these candles right here. If we do this number, where's it at? So basically, like that push right here, that's that same trend line that we can come back up and bounce off of like this. That's also, we saw in the other one. You can just kind of see what it looks like right there. It's right there at the top of our entry. And we have our daily zones, which the daily one's right here. And then that's the daily zone. God, it's so close. I just needed to do it. It just needs to freaking go. Like, I don't understand what its problem is. No, I'm just kidding. If I join your Discord, would it pay for itself? The information you're going to receive all day. The people you're going to meet, can't put a price on some of those people within the community. As far as the money aspect, that's all relative to the person. If we give a good trade markup and you decide to look at that trade and analyze it and make sure it's a good fit, it could be a solid trade for you. It could. And then you may look at the trade setup and say it's just not a good trade and you don't like it. So it's all relative to the individual. Do you have a course? I don't. I've got a lot of content on YouTube. If you just type in Andy Peters, I've got a ton of YouTube content that gives you a lot of just free information on how I trade, how I utilize the dots. Now, I do have 3-day in-person classes coming up. You can find that on my website at thepipconnect.com. But that's really it. Andy, you have such a beautiful Southern accent. It kind of turns me on. That's funny. Well, thank you. I do what I can. Are you laughing, babe? My wife's in there laughing. Jacqueline says, I'm going to spotlight you, Jacqueline, because you and Tommy have always supported me. So I think the world of y'all. She says, thanks for your time today, Andy. As always, learned so much with trading with you, with trading and life in general. Your love for Hannah is on another level. And it's so amazing to see and hear a husband talk about their wife. I used to get a lot of flack about it because I would talk about, Hannah, I'm always posting about her. And people are like, bro, you're obsessed with your wife. And I was like, yes. I was like, I'm obsessed with my wife about as much as you're obsessed with someone else's girl. Oh, boy, that bird. I'll never forget that conversation. And it was kind of silent for a little bit. And he was like, what? And I was like, like when you look at other people's girlfriends and you look at other girls on social media and you're always, hitting them up and getting in their DMs when you're with someone, you should be obsessed with your wife/girlfriend as much as you are looking at other girls. And obviously we don't talk anymore. But I said that mainly in part because, that's my rock. She's my foundation. That's all I've got. And when you're with someone, we're going on 18 years. We've known each other almost our whole life. It's like you have a lot in that person. You've trusted them with so much. Like that is your person. And it's so easy for people just not to take that serious. And I've always said the person that you marry or the person you have kids with will make or break your life. So it's very important to know who you're getting with. especially when we have such a hookup culture. And, typically it doesn't fare too well. When US30 is selling off, usually there is a push late afternoon, so you may get it. Plus, that wick to be filled is in your favor. You were brave though. Thank you, MJ. Yeah, I mean, we typically get a push around that 2:30, 3 o'clock range. I call that the 2:30 push, and on Friday it's Freaky Friday. That's why I always call trading. You never know what you're going to get, but man, like, I'm for it. I'm here for the ride. It's going to be fun. How often are you on Trading Nut? Every Friday. Every Friday, unless I'm traveling out of town and just don't have good service, then I'm on Trading Nut. Well, guys, this is it. I've got to get off here. It's going on 11:45. I've not even ate breakfast yet. I've drank a Spindrift. I got to catch up with the wife and kid. So it's time to get it. And Glenn makes a great, I'm sharing this, Glenn, because I love it. I love it. He says people are more obsessed with their phones than they are their spouses, and it's disgusting. Man, you hit the nail on the head. I actually talked about that a while back because I was like, you will have guys that will be sitting on the couch with their beautiful wife or girlfriend and be on their phone scrolling with a thumb, double tapping pictures through a piece of glass. And it's like you have someone sitting next to you right there who, like, you should be about, but you're on this thing right here. It's like it's disgusting. Like, it even makes me sick. And have we been guilty of it? Yes, 100%. Me and Hannah have been guilty of, I fall down the hole of like, babe, I got to check this email. And I get on this email, and that leads to this email sent me to this link. And now I'm over here and I'm having to message this person. I'm having to set up this meeting. I'm doing these calendar invites. And then someone sends me a mail. They're like, yo, check out this video I just found. Before you know, it's a rabbit hole. And the only way there is to fix that is like, now I throw my phone on the nightstand, we go to the theater room, or I'll throw my phone on the nightstand, we go to the living room. If we're going out to dinner, I've got a thing on Focus on Apple. If you don't have an Apple, you don't use Focus, you should use Focus. And I'll put Life. Life for Focus shuts off all notifications, except for those who are important to me that I know that if something came up, they need to talk. Like my mom needs to get a hold of me or anything like that. She can call and reach me because I got her on one of my favorites. Okay. I do that because if someone told you this is your last night with your wife, what are you going to do? Man, if it's your last night with your wife, your phone's going to be shut off and you're going to be giving her everything you've got, from physical, emotional to love, you name it, it's going to be there. That's how everything should be done in this life. Like, I hate it when people are like, oh, I spend all this time with my kids. It's like, no, you don't, bro. You're in the same room as your kids. You know more about what the kids are doing on your phone than your own kids. So yeah, that's a rabbit hole I can go down forever. The smartphones are the best and worst thing that's ever happened to society. My first time on the stream. Thanks for great words of encouragement. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for all your time. This one right here, I love this comment right here, man. Laron's the dude, guys, just as a heads up. He says, can't talk about my wife without getting emotional most times. And man, that's true. I'm right there with you. It's, I've had my fair share of, emotional breakdowns while talking about her. So I can keep it together now, but 100%. So guys, in ending this, I want to say thank you for spending almost 3 hours with me on a Friday morning. Is a lot. It was something that was not planned today. I'd planned on getting on here and being off at 10. I even told my wife, I was like, I'll be off around 10 o'clock. We'll be ready to rock and roll. And this day just turned out even better. We've had great conversations. So again, I appreciate you guys. This will be available to watch. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, share the video, shout it out on Instagram. Let people know what we're doing on YouTube. It's time to promote Trading Nut to the fullest and let them know what we're doing on Fridays. I love it. And before I end, I got this right here, and I just want to share this because, guys, in ending this will just show you how precious life is. Right here, I lost my wife from COVID, okay? This person right here lost their wife. Any of us could lose our significant other today or possibly tomorrow. So be sure that you are actually living the life you want to live. Be sure that you are taking care of the ones that should be taken care of, and that you're not getting lost in the materialistic things of life. You're not getting lost in what society wants you to get lost in, because there's a lot more important things than what we show off to other people. I promise you. So guys, much love from me. If you're part of my private Discord, I will see y'all later today. I'm going to jump on and have some fun with you guys through just updates. If you're not part of the private Discord, maybe I'll see you there one day. I hope everyone has an amazing Friday, amazing weekend. And let's see, next Friday, next Friday, I will be out of town, but I should have pretty decent service where I'm going to be. So we'll make it happen. Much love, guys. We'll see y'all later. And keep an eye on this trade. Just remember, we got these TP levels starting at 30 right there, 31,330. Someone write that in the comments. So we have it wrote down, 31,330. Someone write that down for me. That way we have it in the comment section where if someone comes on the live stream and they scroll down to the bottom, they're going to say, man, where's this TP going? Well, now we know. We'll see if someone writes it in there. There it is. Business Beyond. Thank you so much. I'll throw it in the video. And Gustova, man, y'all did it right. So let's do it right here. We got 31,330. Y'all see it there. 31,330. Got my dude Sean White, 31,330. So again, guys, that's the number we hit. I want y'all to do me a favor. If we hit TP today, I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm going to have fun. I've not done this yet, but I'm going to do it on this live that we have here. If we hit TP today, if you have given me a shout out on Instagram, okay, I'm going to pick one person that I'm going to send you $1,000. You heard that, $1,000 of BTC. Okay, I will send you $1,000 of BTC. If we hit TP today and you shared this live stream, on Instagram, wherever, I will look, I'll find it, I'll put everyone's name in a hat, and we'll do a giveaway. But Andy, what about if I don't have social media? Well, if you don't have social media, guess what? You made a comment. So that shows you were here. So I'll also take that as well. And it'll take me a couple of days because I'll probably have to pull everything together. But if we hit TP, I'll give $1,000 away of BTC for you guys just for being here. And because obviously, as they said, yes, I've made a little bit of money off the live streams, like $800 because we had a couple people sign up. That's basically me giving back everything for the last 5 weeks. So much love, guys. We'll see y'all on social media. Let's see if we can hit this TP before the end of the day. We'll see y'all later.